Short of magnificent in both games 3 and 4, but an overtime goal ended game 3 in favor of the Detroit Red Wings. Patrick Roy was the story undoubtedly in game 4. And that is why the challenge now falls on the shoulders, I think, of Dominik Hasek. Did not have nearly the workload of Patrick Roy in Colorado, but because the Avalanche were really flat in both of those games, at some point you've got to know Dominik Hasek has to brace himself for a big onslaught. It may happen today. I was fooled in game 4. I may be fooled in game 5, but I expect a better effort out of the Avs.
Alex Tanguay is a scratch. He's played in every game for Colorado. He is out with a leg injury. Mike Keane, who missed the last game, is also out. Scotty Bowman made clear to his team and to the press, for that matter, he wants his Detroit Red Wings going after on the forecheck the Avs early in this game to try and make them pay a price physically. Taken back by Colorado at center, dumped up the near side boards. The check put on Hayduk by Lidstrom to free it up. Frederick Willison clears it around. The Brine line out there for Detroit. Maltby, Draper, and McCarty chased down by Patrick Roy. Pushed it off the boards, gets back into the net. The Avs control it in any event. Dump back into the middle, goes through everybody intended for Drury. Fisher will come back on, cleared up the wall. Fedorov's line out there now. Fedorov, Robitaille on the left side. Holmstrom with him. Holmstrom tried to dish it off. Blake was there to get it. Rob Blake on the quick pass. Peter Forsberg. Forsberg trying to hit Drury. Gloved away. And it comes out of the zone to Holmstrom, who had Fedorov cutting. Fedorov was up ice. Blake was there with him. Puck never got there, though. Rob Blake tipped it away. Fedorov picks it back up. Sergei Fedorov leading the team in shots. Takes another one. Blocked out deep. Sucks there. Robitaille missed it wide. Rebound Fedorov, a great chance right there. Held at the point, turnaround chance, Dandino. Two good chances. Holmstrom trying to hold it in, can't. Reinfeldt will ice it. The early heat put on by Detroit.
Right away, you can see what Detroit wants to do. If Patrick Roy is in his zone, get traffic in front, get pucks there. Look for a rebound. Forget about trying to beat him clean. Luc Robitaille's game has come alive ever since Sergei Fedorov took over at center between Holmstrom and Robitaille. And this is the line that has given Detroit the early scoring chance. Chris Drury, though, watch this play. It was going to be a point-blank chance for Luc Robitaille until Chris Drury got there. When the puck went back to the point, that is when Detroit overloaded the front, looking for a deflection. Chris Drury has been Mr. Clutch. You got to remember, in '98, when he was playing at BU, he was Hockey East's Defensive Player of the Year for plays like that he just made on Robitaille.
Igor Larionov, who had missed 5 games prior to the last one for Detroit, is back in their lineup tonight for the Detroit Red Wings. Jason Williams, who had been playing, is a scratch. Everybody else for Detroit healthy and on the ice, including Yzerman, who, despite the bad leg and a bad shoulder, has not had his ice time decrease as this playoff year has gone along. It's been right up there in that low 20s mark, 21 or 22 minutes a game. Lidstrom back on the touch. That's an icing call.
Steve Yzerman, we mentioned moments ago, looked better in game 4, I thought, than in any other game in the series. Watch what happens here with Dan Heino. Oh, the ribs. Far from the knee, but still it's the ribs. And what is interesting in the first rotation of lines for Colorado, they went the Sakic line, the Drury-Forsberg line, back to the Sakic line. Bob Hartley rides his thoroughbreds until they drop. Scotty Bowman is not changing much. You've noticed the same line combos as you saw in game 4, for the simple reason that the Red Wings had one heck of a game and played well.
In the last game, Detroit, every player had at least 10 minutes or more. Colorado had 5 players under 10 minutes, including their 5th and 6th defensemen. On the fall down, Wilsey came in to try and knock it away. Brian Wilsey had some 8 minutes of ice time in his first playoff game ever in the last game, as he got a chance because of the injury to Mike Keane to get in. Shot back in by Kasparaitis along the near side boards. Big time check put on as Messier got leveled by Shanahan. And I mean, Shanahan got him good in the shoulder area. Shanahan back in his own end, off the boards at center, came loose. Larionov will come back to get it. Yzerman got hit again and is going ever so slowly to the bench. Out to get it, Dominik Hasek cleared it around. Yzerman has taken 2 big hits here in the first period, and that last one, he got up very slowly. Dumped into the corner, back to get it is Skula. Skula is one of those defensemen whose ice time has gone down as this series has moved along. Taken back by Fisher. Driven back by Yell. Bravada is getting a chance. Bravada, number 17 for Colorado. He's getting a chance for the first time in this series. He played the first 6 games of this playoff year and has not played since.
He has come in for Alex Tanguay. Bob Hartley has had to retool some of his line combos. Dan Heino started in the first 2 shifts up with the Joe Sakic line. Sakic, Haydu, and Heino.
Dropped away by Blake into the zone. Good forechecking here by Reinfeldt and Forsberg. Forsberg moving over at the center onside. Blake moves it in. Rob Blake, 6 goals so far in the playoffs for Blake. He's 12 points, second among defensemen in points. That'll be touched up by Marty Skula. First period, no score. We'll check in with Brian Engblom.
Gary, this has been a really strange series. Detroit has outplayed Colorado most of the time throughout the series, but Colorado has the lead most of the time. Detroit keeps out shooting Colorado, but Colorado keeps scoring first. And Detroit has to do something about that, because no matter how slowly or how well Colorado starts out, they keep scoring goals like this early on. Now, logic says that if Detroit can clean this situation up, they should win the series. But after all, this series doesn't seem to have anything to do with logic now, does it?
No, not my logic. That's for sure.
I'll tell you, the logic it does have is you get 2 great teams. Detroit, maybe that's their lead time, and a huge difference there. The series is tied at 2-2.
Detroit has only led once in this series. They led for the 3rd period of game 1. They never lost the lead, but that was the only time they led. They scored an overtime goal that doesn't qualify as a lead. Colorado's had 7 leads. They've lost them all. Go figure.
Sakic dumps it in. Detroit has outshot Colorado 10 shots a game. They've had 6 more chances per game than have the Colorado Avalanche. But it just hasn't mattered. It's 2-2. Back through center with teams making line changes. Maltby would have gotten that one in way wide off the boards. McCarty coming over. He and Forsberg do battle. Poke checked off the wall. Played by Adam Foote. Tried to clear it, but not. Foote has had a tough series. He's got a -5 going against Detroit, and he is one of their leading defensemen for Colorado. Finally, they got it away. Drury's got it. That'll be whistled behind the play and a hand pass. Let's bring you an update on the baseball game that those of you watching the San Francisco Giant-Arizona game promised we'd keep you abreast with a final on that. And as soon as I see it, so will you. 7-3. Giants get the win. Bonds 1 for 3 with a home run, his 18th.
What a fantastic shift for Darren McCarty, number 25 of the Red Wings. Look at him working against 2 as against Forsberg and Adam Foote. He was able to keep this thing alive. It's alive. Terrific job. It was a hand pass by Peter Forsberg that negated a 2-on-1. Otherwise, it was a 2-on-1 all the way to the other end. But Darren McCarty, he hasn't scored since game 1 when he picked up his first career hat trick. But you can tell from efforts like that that he is still of great value to the Red Wings.
The amazing thing is McCarty is still tied for the lead in this series in points with 3, along with 4 other Detroit Red Wings. As their big guns that Scotty Bowman talked about 2 games ago still have not picked up the scoring pace. Robitaille, Shanahan, Hull, and Yzerman combined 4 goals in 4 games. Shanahan left it offside, though. Fedorov had to wait and then dumped it in. Watt came back to play it.
Here's the power line for Detroit. Steve Yzerman, Sergei Fedorov, and Brendan Shanahan.
Detroit making line changes here to try and get some offense going. This is what Scotty Bowman has said. If our big guns don't get on the board, we're in trouble. Right now, they're not on the board nearly enough. Sergei Fedorov near side to Lidstrom. This is a great 5-man unit out there right now. Hull will clear that in. Detroit will change. DeVries on the touch, and that will be whistled for the icing. Everybody knows he's hurting, so if you're wearing another color uniform, you look for number 19.
But you know what? Colorado didn't do a lot of this in games 3 and 4. Taking a piece of Steve Yzerman and making sure you make contact. See how he got up there using his stick. Came out in the next shift. You know what I look for? Steve Yzerman went to bench on the bench on that play, and he went to the bench slowly, but he immediately started talking to one of his teammates. When you're hurt and you're in pain, you're not in that big a mood to just have a little chat when you're sitting on the bench. So it's always a good sign to me when a guy chats.
Yzerman 0 for 5, no points in his last 5 games. Held back in. by Riku Hall, knocked away by Hasek, who almost got caught back in behind the net. There, Datsuk got it off the near side boards. Into the corner with it is Devereaux. Datsuk, Hall behind the net trying to help. Hall banged it up the near side wall. Got it into the middle. Devereaux, the backhander to Hall. Hall looking. Defenseman cutting on the offside. Couldn't get it through there, though. Battle along the corner. Devereaux reached in. Hull moves up. Knocked it away. Datsuk tried to set it up. It got blocked. And Adam Foote, good defensive play to clear it out. Datsuk leaves it as Detroit gets back onside. Duchesne moving it in onside. Colorado makes the line change. That one deflected wide. Hard wraparound. Larionov got a piece of that. It goes back behind the net and has to be played. Dominic Hasek in the head-to-head battle against Patrick Waugh in their careers. For Hasek, the advantage 10-6-3. Taking away Fisher. Fisher moving it in. Still, we haven't had a shot. There's one. First shot of the game. 5:37 into the period. And you can see it's a little testy. Because whoever wins this is going to be one win away from the finals.
What makes this ride fun? You don't have to be a defensive driver. No need to pay attention to road conditions or anticipate what others might do. Or let other drivers know what you're going to do. It's all in a night of fun, isn't it? Not when it's for real. When you're behind the wheel of a real car, be aware, anticipate, and communicate. Drive defensively.
If you're new to European commissaries, you're in for a treat with our vacuum pack meats. This sturdy package goes quickly from your grocery bag to the freezer. It resists freezer burn, doesn't leak, and allows full viewing of the product on all sides. Plus, the airless atmosphere retards bacterial growth and intensifies the actions of natural acids in the meat, resulting in a more tender product. Increased safety, easier handling, tender and tasty. What more could you ask for?
This is Chaplain Dave Detmeyer, hoping God's grace changes everything in your life today.
By your grace, my faith will stand. From the European Broadcast Center to you, you can receive Touch of Grace at your home or office email account. Subscribe at the AFN Europe website. Click on the AFN Chaplain button, then select A Touch of Grace. There's your link for a daily dose of inspiration.
Taken away by Blake off the face-off. Chelios tried to hold it in, could not. Milan Hayduk 3-on-2. Hayduk with Sakic. Shot saved by Dominic Hasek. A 3-on-1 for a moment there. DeVries a chance. Save made by Hasek with help from Chelios in front. Chelios clears it around for Fisher. Couple of shots in a hurry for the Avalanche off that face-off at the other end. Sakic 3-on-2. 3-on-3. Hitting back was Robitaille. Fedorov at center trying to push it around Blake. Blake let the puck go. Big hit put on the far side. Tomas Holmstrom had it taken away and cleared back in. Good work by Dan Heino. Both teams changing. Fedorov dumped it into the middle. Colorado gets onside. Bravada flips it into the zone. Bravada during the regular season had 18 goals in 52 games. Playoffs getting back in after the first 6 that he played in. Maltby, the intended foot, knocked it down and took a shot to the chops behind the net. Maltby skating the other way, checking to see if he was bleeding. Kasparaitis drops it off. Yell, a shot, save Hasek. Rebound, Kasparaitis. Had Hasek down, but the puck went behind the net. Darius Kasparaitis, the defenseman, joining the flow, and it will be iced by Detroit. Foot on the touch.
Already more jump for Colorado early in the first period than they showed in either games 3 or 4. And those were home games. Darius Kasparaitis just decided to keep on coming here. And Stefan Yell's shot generated a rebound. It looked like as Hasek saw the rebound coming out, he cleared it himself. Watch this from our Southwest Airlines goal cam. Brilliant. He had a rebound coming off his blocker. He picked up Kasparaitis coming, and he slapped it away with the blade of his stick.
Very quietly, Darius Kasparaitis is having some playoff year. He's tied for first in the league in plus-minus. He's got a +8. Kasparaitis and Peter Forsberg, 2 of 3 among the playoff players who have a +8 at the top of the pile. That cleared back out, will be chased down. Blake came back to get a little pick. Pushed up towards the line, and it did come outside the line. Couldn't be held in by McCarty. Kasparaitis joins the offense. You know they're really looking for help from someone you wouldn't normally expect to score.
Very good. His last playoff goal, the East semifinals in double OT against the Buffalo Sabres. Then the Penguins swim. That everybody does on the streets of Pittsburgh to this day, although they burn their chests most of the time because the pavement's rather hot in the summer. But there he is, Kasparaitis. He's not afraid to join the rush if he can because he's a great skater. But both of these teams have to be so careful because they fear the counterattack from the other team.
Kasparaitis 2 goals in 79 playoff games. Drury put the hit on. Pass back to him, blocked by McCarty. Cleared back out. Draper got it. McCarty just clearing the zone. No score first period. Intense battle. Maltby takes another hit to the chops. This time it came from Drury. Had his helmet on the back of his head. Lidstrom will chase this down. 3-1 the shots in favor of the Avs. Lidstrom back in behind the net with it. Nick Lidstrom, 4 goals, 6 assists this playoff year. Is 146 on the circle. Cleared back up and out through center. Red Wings get their line change. Yzerman back on the ice to Larionov. Shanahan cutting into the middle. Dumped there. Played by Foot into the corner. Foot and Schooler teamed up defensively. Duchesne off the red line, off the blue line, able to hold it in. Shanahan protects it. Shanahan looking, but you see Colorado tight defense here. They are right in the jerseys defensively. Held in along the near side again. Yzerman looking. Yzerman, Larionov, both out there together. Larionov lost it, and it's cleared out of the zone by Brian Wilson. Teams will both change it up. Shanahan tried to tip that, didn't get a stick on it. It'll be an icing call as a result. Most midway through our first period. Let's take a look at our Bud Light Stanley Cup summary. The Cinderella team, Carolina, last 4 road games they have won. Colorado, Detroit. This team, whichever one, winning the face-offs, has lost each game of the series. Give up a draw or 2, I guess.
Check this action out. Peter Forsberg being watched pretty closely, saying, get your stick out of my crotch. And Kurt Maltby is saying, get off my stick. You're sitting on it. They continued all the way down the ice. Maltby took him to the boards before the puck got there. Kurt Maltby is ready to do dirty work anytime anybody asks him to.
Blake shot, had it blocked. Fedorov 3-on-2 the other way. Sergei Fedorov. He turns, takes the shot, had it blocked into the corner by Greg DeVries. Again, we see mixed lines. Boyd Devereaux out there with Fedorov and Hull. I don't remember seeing these 3 together in this series.
No, Scotty Bowman is mixing and matching here early. Now, needless to say, we should have expected it because Scotty Bowman said, you know what, when we play as well as we did in Game 4, the good thing is you don't have to change anything.
Now they're changing. Get it going. Devereaux knocked away. And it is Hull moving it in. Hull leads them in goals. Man open shot. Chelios blocked. DeVries again. DeVries got a stick on it. Centering pass blocked. Yell. Cleared it up to the point. Chris Chelios knocked it down. Chelios sent it along the wall. Datsuk hit by High Note is going down anyway. DeVries clears it off the glass and out the center. No icing. Got to be played. Dominik Hasek coming back to get it. Fisher will come back and play it. 21-year-old out of the Czech Republic. Yuri Fisher back in behind the net. Colorado's basically gone to 4D over the last couple of games, while Detroit continues to play their 3D combination. Scotty Bowman hopes that's going to pay off in Colorado wearing down. Remember, Colorado had to play 2 7-game series to get here. Detroit did not. Lidstrom got it ahead. Robitaille in the drop pass takes the chance. Save Waugh. Rebound. Hall's got it. Cleared it up. Wilsey moving. Colorado changing. Far side shot. Hall save made. Hasek. And this one got intensity all over it. No score.
Anything else, sir?
All right.
Looking for a job this summer? Check out the 2002 Summer Hire Program. Work in an office.
Or outdoors.
Log on to the Charmer website.
That's www.charmer.com. that HQ user that move. Check it out.
Looking for business cards, invitations, stationery, wedding, and baby announcements?
You can do anything that you want to do.
The Stars and Stripes print shop can create all this and more. Graphic designers work with each client individually, ensuring every job is tailor-made to the client's needs. For more information, contact the Stars and Stripes print shop at DSN 349-8415 or log on to www.stripesprintshop.com.
FA this time of the year is one to jam joint, I'll tell you that, and enjoying their Detroit Red Wings. Always full before, during, and after games. And what a game to watch. Great to have you with us here. Exclusive coverage on ESPN. With this series tied at 2-2. The shots of 4-2 favor the Avs, but no scores so far in Game 5. Tipped in by Larionov into the corner. Up the near side, Yzerman trying to hold it in. Lidstrom did. Yzerman banged it down and lost it. Vrbata gets it out. Vrbata, Hayduk, and Sakic on this line with Tanguay and Keane both scratches in this game. Tied up along the side and brought out by Larionov. Igor Larionov tried to head that up, and the odd man couldn't get it there, and it's offside. Not happy with the offside call. Want to remind you, tomorrow night, Stanley Cup playoffs continue exclusively on ESPN. It'll be Ron Francis and the Hurricanes heading back to Toronto, where they didn't want to go. Game 6 showdown. The Leafs, the Canes, 7 o'clock, ESPN.
Curtis Joseph pitched the shutout in Carolina, forcing Game 6 in Toronto. Playoff shutouts all-time leaders, tied with Clint Benedict, now number 2 behind Patrick Waugh.
The way Toronto's not scoring goals, he may need another one. Toronto's staying in that series, virtually scoring nothing. Skula got it around the far side. In the middle, not out. McCarty a chance wide. Near side towards Detroit. Won't be able to hold it in. Got glove down. Draper battling to keep it in. He does battle with Brian Muir. Muir kicked it in behind the net. McCarty pushed it to the far side corner. Brian Muir will play that in the middle. Get around. 3-on-2 the other way. Detroit gets back. Ryan Prent in. Ryan Prent dropped it. No backhand chance though. Marty Skula, another defenseman joining the flow for Colorado. We're seeing that from Game 1. And getting back on D at center ice was Chris Drury. Drury, the forward, came back to cover and did. Blake will send that one in. Both teams over the boards. Dominik Hasek held it up. Got it away to Yuri Fisher. Fisher. Blake along the blue line trying to hold it in. Holmstrom to Fedorov. Poke checked away. Played back. Hall got it up ice, intended for Messier. Played around by Dominik Hasek to Fisher. Fisher put the hit on as he came up the wall. Puck taken back though by Blake. Again, the Avs get back on side. Each team dumping, chasing. The other team's going back and getting it first. Fisher able to control it despite Wilsey putting the hit on him. Holmstrom hanging onto that red line. Hall intercepts the pass again. Nobody can get into the zone. Brought back on the line change by Vrbata. His shot save made by Hasek and left in behind the net. Coming into this game, Detroit in shots at a 42-shot advantage through the first 4 games and a +20 in the scoring chance department. Cleared back up the near side. Vrbata tipped it, headed to the bench. Round the board, Standino, Datsyuk, Hull. They're back together now. Shot point saved by Hasek. Kasparaitis and a penalty coming up on Detroit for a slashing call. Matthew Dandino, I think.
Boy, Brad Larson got whacked. And I think he might have gotten a piece of the shot from Kasparaitis. A dandy save by Dominik Hasek with the pad, with the left pad.
Where's Kasparaitis coming from all of a sudden here offensively?
John Koharski signals a slash. Matthew Dandino in the sin bin. There was Larson's original forecheck. Then help from Stefan Yell on the forecheck, and that is why the puck ended up back at the point. Great pressure on the forecheck. Larson, maybe a little tip, maybe not, one way or the other. Hasek in a great spot, and a pretty good chop. Watch the chop here from the left from Dandino. Whack. Looked like it was just below the pants, maybe, right above the above the knee cap on the shin pad.
13:32. Dandino slashing. First penalty of the game. Power play for the Colorado Avalanche. No score in the first period. The Avalanche 4 for 19 in this series. They were a team that was 18% effective on the power play during the regular season. They are 14.7 here in the playoffs. Brought back up by Blake on the power play unit. He sends it in. Ryan Pretz on the near side. Knocked it down. Lidstrom moved in on him. Chris Drury out there in this power play unit along the wall picks it up. Trying to go to the point. Blake sends it back. Lost it. Intercepted and cleared out by Lidstrom. First power play of the game. Joe Sakic. Both teams will change up on the penalty kill. The Red Wings have been outstanding on the penalty kill here in the playoffs. Taking Sakic. Just left it behind the net. Lidstrom pushed it away. Still loose. Forsberg got it. Forsberg sends it up to Sakic. Sakic goes wide. One-timer Blake. Save made. And he had Heinold cutting in front of him. Blake able to hold it in once but not twice. Forsberg reached in. Couldn't get it. Fedorov dives and clears.
Twice Sergei Fedorov protected the puck because it was between his skates and finally was able to dig it out himself and shoot it down. I mean, Sergei Fedorov has had a terrific series. Regardless of the number of goals he hasn't scored relative to the chances that he's had.
Up the near side, Ryan Pratt leaves it for Foot. Foot dropped it in the middle to nobody in particular. And Duchesne will just rag it a bit along the blue line and clear it out. Keep in mind, Detroit has scored 6 short-handed goals, the most in the playoffs. If you take all of the other teams in the playoffs combined, you have 5 short-handed goals. Detroit gets 6. Down the middle, Hayduk lost it. Drury trying to knock it away. Cleared up and around Skula and out.
Those short-handed goals, 6 short-handed goals, as many or more than 13 teams during the regular season. And they had to play 82 games.
That's just a ton of short-handed goals. If you're wondering, in a playoff year, the most short-handed goals scored ever in the playoffs has been 10. 83 Edmonton Oilers. Power play is over. 1 shot on goal during that power play for the Avs. They are out shooting the Red Wings here 7-3, but there's no score. Back up the near side. Gandino shuts it down. Shot right through the middle. Hull sliding along the ice. Ended up going right behind Waugh. That one blistered by Yzerman to the near side. Shot back in by Lidstrom. Can you sense the desire in both of these teams' part to get that first goal and not make a mistake on the ice? They know the team that wins this one is in the driver's seat in this series. Played back by Skula behind the net.
Boy, Martin Skula's picked up more ice time in this first period than I don't know the numbers yet, but he has been out there a lot. After having his ice time cut right down to 7 minutes in Game 4, had a talk with Bob Hartley during practice yesterday and seems far more committed to a physical game here in Game 5.
He's been averaging 14.5 minutes a game. The way he's going in this thing, he's going to come close to picking that up in a period. Played off the boards on the far side. Devereaux waiting for help. Found it. Shot wide. McCarty coming off the bench. And that pass will go to center. Heinold putting the pressure on along with Larson. Larson, Yell, and Heinold on this line. Datsuk, the rookie, knocked it down. Datsuk, 23 years old, couple of goals, 3 assists this playoff year. Fisher sends it. Detroit changing. Dumped in wide of the net by Devereaux. Played around the far side and up to Forsberg. Forsberg leading everybody in scoring in the playoffs. Brings it in. Shuts it down. Avs changing. Dropped a great pass in the middle. Down went Hasek. Empty net. Score! Ryan Pratt! What a play! Colorado takes a 1-0 lead. He got the goaltender down and then walked it the 180 to get one.
And the 5th consecutive game now. Every game in this series, Colorado has scored first. The Avalanche know one thing. When you're one-on-one with Hasek, sometimes he'll come out to challenge. Watch this dish from Peter Forsberg. It doesn't get much better than that. Between the skates of Darren McCarty, and then as soon as Hasek came out, that is when Reinprecht looked up, saw him, and decided to try a wraparound. What a beautiful play. The concept was great. Hasek was out of the paint. Nick Lidstrom came back to try to get a piece of it. It might have banked in off of Lidstrom one way or the other. Brilliant decision by Steven Reinprecht.
And it is a 1-0 Colorado lead as again they're on the board first. Right back up near side by Lidstrom. Lidstrom centering pass. One save by Juan Holmstrom. Holmstrom got a chance. Sakic brings it the other way. Sakic goes by Verbata, his teammate, then lost it to Lidstrom, who poked it away to center. Lidstrom will just dump that one in from the red red line. Wyatt clears it around. 6th shot of the game for the Avs. They get the first goal of the game. Move back up. Ryan Brett again is back out on the ice. Taken away by Sergei Fedorov. Off the near side boards. 17-11 the time of the goal. Ryan Brett, 2nd of this series, 6th of the playoffs. Peter Forsberg picked up the assist. They got it on the 8th shot, by the way. 8th shot of the period. Ryan Brett had it taken away by Yzerman. Near side Detroit. Shanahan will move it back into the middle. Shanahan, Fedorov, and Yzerman together. Steve Yzerman into the zone. Blake comes over. Blocks him off the puck. Gets it to DeVries. Greg DeVries clears it around the near side. Not, out off Duchesne.
Most of those one-on-one battles for 50-50 pucks that were being won by Detroit in both games in Colorado.
Ooh, great play by Yzerman as he got it down low to Dandino, but Dandino's redirection got partially held up from behind, and it was wide.
Colorado was winning those battles here.
They have the step. How many times have we said Detroit's got the step? Hasek got down on the ice, and matching Miners coming here. Matching Miners, one of them's going to be on Dominic Hasek. We'll get the penalties here when we come back. But the referee indicated it was going to go both ways as Hasek got tied up in behind the net. Here's Dominic Hasek coming back to play the puck. Stepped out on Wilsey, went down on the ice. Could it be a dive?
Welcome to Daily News Update. I'm Petty Officer Jennifer Gray. The Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Vern Clark, announced the appointment of Rear Admiral Terrence Ettenmeyer as the new commander of the Atlantic Fleet Surface Force. Rear Admiral Ettenmeyer, currently the commander of the cruiser-destroyer Group 1 Carrier Constellation Battle Group, replaces Rear Admiral John Foley. Admiral Ettenmeyer will take over the 115-ship, 45,000-member Atlantic Fleet Surface Force in early August. This has been a Daily News Update. I'm Petty Officer Jennifer Gray in Washington.
Minors have been called here. Offsetting Miners. Dominic Hasek got one of them. Wilsey and Hasek. McCarty's in the box. Third behind the net again by Hasek up the far side. And the Red Wings were in a 4-on-4 now. Draper from the blue line trying to move it in. Puck in between the skates. Tied up at a foot. Helmet goes flying off Foot's head. Helmet goes flying off Foot's head. Draper and Edu battle. Foot takes Draper down. Maltby's over there. How many scrums have we had in this series like this? I mean, this has been that kind of a series, and it continues. The battles on the wall have been ferocious.
I lost count early in game one.
3-on-3. Forsberg looking for help. Reinfeldt's open. Goes to the middle and got tied up by Draper. That was close.
Boy, Dominic Hasek smartly came out to cut down the angle. He had Kurt Maltby behind him, who had his stick taken away by one of the Avs players, and Maltby was trying to argue the call behind Hasek.
Hasek had it on sportsmanlike, and Wilsey had it interference, so Hasek got called for diving. I don't think I remember that on goaltender. That one kicked away. DeVries, and that's going to end the period. The shots end up 9-5 in favor of the Colorado Avalanche. The goal at 17-11. Ryan Brett from Forsberg, and a 1-0 lead at the end of one. The Avs over the Wings.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Cadillac. Bold vehicles defying convention. Cadillac. Breakthrough. By Bud Light, the proud sponsor of the NHL. And by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the National Hockey League.
It's a good one. Let's get a little further analysis. John and Barry, all yours.
All right, Gary, thanks a lot. 1-0 for Colorado. That shouldn't be a surprise. All 5 games, they've gotten the first goal, but this is the best they have looked since game 1, I think.
And I can guarantee you what they're talking about in that dressing room is Bob Hartley says, no more sitting back. We're not going to win this game 1-0. We're going to attack them. We're going to continue to get the puck in deep. We're going to make them play defense. And Steven Reinprecht is turning into one of the best finds ever in a throw-in deal. He was thrown in the Blake deal, just an extra body. This guy's a great hockey player. He benefits from playing with a guy called Peter Forsberg, but this guy still makes some nice plays and puts the puck in the net when he gets a chance.
And he's very close to making this a 2-0 game. With these teams, you cannot afford to fall down 2-0. When we come back, we'll talk about the East. Cujo is at it again. There he is stopping the Carolina Hurricanes, but he did it against the Avs as a member of the Oilers as well, trying to fight back from down 3-1.
I am freedom, and I stand tall.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I am the beacon that inspires hope. I embrace people of all cultures and faiths.
The natural state of mankind is freedom.
Standing together to make a better world.
The world is a fine place and worth fighting for.
Force protection is USAFE's #1 priority in accomplishing its mission. We must all remain vigilant. As little as a nanosecond of complacency can lead to disaster. Part of maintaining awareness is to always be aware of the current force protection condition. Anytime you see something that looks suspicious, report it. Be the one who contributes to a vigilant and aware community so that we can all benefit from that secure environment.
Get real. Get together with Youth Services.
USAFE congratulates Ms. Catherine Forrestek, former principal of Yokota Middle School, and Mr. William Dieselhorse, principal of Lakenheath High School, Department of Defense Education Activity Principals of the Year.
Double, double, toil and trouble. Fire burn, cauldron bubble. Eye of newt and toe of frog.
Ooh, toe of frog. Hey, didn't we have that for dinner last week? Can't we try something different for a change?
Yeah, I think we should cut back on the wool of bat and tongue of dog. I think we need to eat more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains.
What? You don't like my cooking?
Well, it doesn't fit the original.
All right, then.
If you want to eat a variety of foods to get the nutrients you need, it's important to select foods from the 5 food groups. Grains, which includes bread, cereal, rice, and pasta. Fruits, vegetables, dairy products, and meats, including fish, poultry, eggs, dry beans, and nuts.
Toe of frog. See, it is in the meats food group. It says so right here in the witch's training manual. No, that's the old edition.
Yeah, you should get the new Dark Ages version.
For a healthy diet, make your choices from the 5 food groups.
You must try the mango. It is fabulous.
I can still feel his hooks in my ribs and taste the leather from his uppercuts. So why should I get out of the corner? Because I'd gladly take another 3 minutes of pain for a shot at the title. Wouldn't you?
For the 5th consecutive game, Colorado scores first in a 1-0 lead over Detroit, although they have had plenty of problems holding those leads. And that's why this series is tied.
That's why it's not over.
Exactly. John Saunders and Barry Melrose. News from the East, Pat Quinn, head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He has missed a couple of games in this series with an irregular heartbeat. He has been cleared to play. Now, I wonder about the distraction. If you look at the numbers, they're 1-1 without head coach Pat Quinn. They're 1-2 with him.
This is a great story, and I think we're all hoping that Pat Quinn regains perfect health and can coach the next 100 years. But the bottom line is right now, I think it is a distraction. The team now does not need to talk about Pat Quinn's health before a game, does not need to be asked, should he be behind the bench? It needs to focus on beating Carolina. It needs to focus on playing the best hockey they've played. It needs to focus on scoring some goals. They've only scored 5 goals in this playoffs, and I think Winston Churchill said, never before has so much been done with so little.
Exactly.
And it's amazing that they're even in this series. But I think it's Pat Pat is a big-time distraction for the team.
I'm a firm believer that when you go down 3-1, the toughest game to win is that one that gets you to 3-2. After that, now they're back home. This is a team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, trying to become just the 17th team in history to do that. Come back from down 3-1. Cujo, a big part of 2 other teams.
And you know what it is? It's not a physical battle. It's a mental battle. You got to get the team to believe that you can come back. And when you have a player on your team that's done it twice, and he's speaking from experience, not just hope, that really bodes well. So when Cujo's in the dressing room saying, look, I've done it twice. I did it in St. Louis. I did it in Edmonton. The guys in the team say, holy man, he's done it twice. He's done it 1/8 of the time. This guy must have a magic aura about him. So they start believing in this guy. And Cujo can call upon that experience himself when he's getting ready mentally in the game. He's been here before. He's been successful before. That's what visualization's all about, folks. So Cujo's got a leg up on any other goaltender in hockey, even Patrick Waugh.
Do you like their chances to come back? This is a Carolina team that stuck to the game plan and looked very good doing it.
No, I don't like their chances. I like Carolina. They only lost that game because they tried to win it 0-0. They didn't attack. Once they attacked in the 3rd period, they took over the play and could have easily won that game. It just they started too late. Carolina's a very good team, but they need the BBC line to start scoring.
Exactly, and it's hard to believe that Toronto, as you said, so much with so little. Can we expect them to win another game? We'll find out.
That's Winston Churchill. I didn't say that.
I was quoting you. Tuesday at 7 o'clock tomorrow, Cujo will look to force a Game 7 against the Canes.
This intermission report is presented by Dodge, the official road team of the NHL.
When I first started, I really didn't know all the dangers. Things like gum disease, tooth decay, open sores, cancer. You could even lose part of your jaw. I thought the only thing I had to worry about was bad breath. Well, like they say, you're gonna feel a little pinch between your cheek and gum. Open wide. This may hurt a little.
Become a coach with Child Youth Services and enroll your child in any CYS sport for free. Your second child can enroll for half price. Contact your CYS center for more information.
Stars and Stripes is turning 60, and they're celebrating by giving away a Volvo S60 to one lucky reader. You could be the one. Just pick up a copy of Stars and Stripes and check out the classifieds for the registration form and official rules. The Stripes birthday giveaway runs through July 27th, and you can enter as often as you like. So pick up a copy of Stars and Stripes and register to win a new Volvo S60 today.
When there is an unexpected death of a child, oftentimes we ask the family to allow friends to make the arrangements.
I get requests all the time to go past the school or playground while on our journey to our final resting place.
Some cemeteries also have a section set aside strictly for children under the age of 13.
Here's what's coming up on AFN Sports. AFN Sports, your 24/7 sports channel.
Dodge Intermission Report, John Saunders and Barry Melrose. Steven Reinprecht has the only goal, and this guy, as you said, is much more than just a throw-in.
Look at this move coming around the net. He made a great move on Hasek and a great move on Lidstrom. Two pretty good players, John.
Back with more in a moment.
The equipment that the Navy has is state-of-the-art.
A lot of the equipment that I work with is leading technology.
I spent most of my Navy career working in satellite communications.
I actually went through 15 months of school.
Been through very extensive training in mathematics, physics, chemistry.
They train you to be the best, and they expect you to be the best.
It probably would have cost me around $25,000 for the total amount of training I went to.
My parents were very excited that the Navy was going to pay for 4 years of college.
College professors come aboard to teach us while underway.
I am 2 courses away from my criminal justice degree.
What you've seen is just part of the story. Call this number now for your free 12-minute video and see how the Navy can jumpstart your life. Check out the jobs, training, and money for college that are waiting for you.
My Navy experience allowed me to step right into a respectable and fun job.
Navy, accelerate your life.
Today for Show and Tell, I brought somebody very special. I brought my big brother, Carl. He's been all around the world. He works on a ship, and he helps protect our country, even when he's far away. It's cool. That's why when I grow up, I want to be in the Navy, too. Either that or be president.
You know the best thing about retirement? More time for golf. That's right. Let's play. Off the rock, the wall, and into the windmill.
Ned and Fred made a big mistake. They didn't save for their retirement. Saving just $20 a week could have meant thousands in their retirement account, and that could have paid for a lot of greens fees.
This is a life.
Makes you wonder how the other half lives, huh? The choice is yours. Call for free information and start saving for your retirement today.
Saying, guys, we can't sit on these leads like we've done in the past. But how does that translate through the players?
Well, watch when this period starts. Now, they sent the defenseman consistently in the first period, see if they continue to do that in the second period, and they forecheck very, very hard in this first period, see if they continue to do that in the second period. Those are 2 keys of Colorado's success.
What
in the
about
second
Detroit?
Period. Detroit's got to take the play away from Colorado. They got to get the puck in Colorado's end. And let's face it, if these big stars don't start scoring for Detroit, they're not going to beat Colorado. We got to see Hull, Robitaille. Shanny hasn't got a goal yet in this series. Those guys got to put the puck in the net for Detroit.
You don't want the grind line getting all your goals for you. Let's remind everyone what we have coming up. Following hockey, it's baseball. The Colorado Rockies and the San Diego Padres. Larry Walker for the Rockies, of course, a huge Avalanche fan. He actually traveled to Detroit for the first game of this series. That's tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern time. That's when we are done with this game. 1-0 right now. The Red Wings will look to pull even when we return as the Avalanche hope to go up 3-2.
Did you know that the average Social Security benefit is only $780 a month?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that most people will spend 20 years in retirement?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that a 40-year-old who saves $20 a week can have $75,000 when they retire?
I didn't know that.
There's a lot you might not know. To get free information about savings, visit our website or call this number.
I know what to do now.
TRICARE knows the need for medical advice isn't limited to business hours. With the Healthcare Information Line, you can pick up your telephone anytime and speak to a registered nurse about your health concerns. Get the toll-free number for your country from your TRICARE representative, or log on to the TRICARE Europe webpage and look under beneficiary information. Toll-free, 24 hours a day, every day. The Healthcare Information Line. Medical advice when you need it.
Here in Europe, APHIS works hard to bring you a large and diverse food operation. You can choose from our own in-house food concepts, as well as many nationally known fast food restaurants. Want it fresh baked? Our bakery at Groomstock turns out fresh breads, pastries, and dairy products on a daily basis. We also prepare and serve lunches to your children at our schools. We're proud of our food program. While you're serving your mission here, we're working hard to bring you a taste of home.
My body houses all that I am.
All that I am.
And I am ever changing.
I am ever changing. I may run to the far ends of the earth.
But I can't run from the diseases.
From the diseases that may invade.
My anatomical house.
1 out of 8 women will develop breast cancer.
But your hands hold the power to defend your body's health. Monthly breast self-exams can detect the early stages of breast cancer. It's a power that only you possess.
I can never run from my body.
Run from my body.
But I can stand. But I can stand.
And fight for its survival.
For its survival.
Monthly breast self-examinations can save your life. For more information, contact your healthcare provider.
Steve Yzerman, Sergei Fedorov, and NHL Tonight's Barry Melrose stopped by the fish shop to tell a fan that to truly understand hockey, he should watch NHL Tonight. Remember, to know is to love.
I'm Samuel Baycoat. My Peace Corps experience has challenged me to find solutions and get results, and that's what business is all about. Because of Peace Corps, I'm truly a better person.
Peace Corps volunteers, changing the world, changing America.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Dodge, the official road team of the NHL. Grab life by the horns. Dodge. By Singular Wireless. Never pay long distance or roaming again. It's Singular Nation. And by Heineken. It's all about the beer. Heineken.
Getting set for the period number 2 here in Detroit. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, and Brian England for Colorado. It's been maintaining the lead. First 2 series, they had a lead, lost it 7 times. In this series alone, it's already happened 7 times.
Yeah, it might be easier if they get a 2-goal lead, but then again, they've only had a 2-goal lead for 3 minutes and change. The Detroit Red Wings have had a 2-goal lead only for 7 minutes and change. But the story continues to be Peter Forsberg, who amazingly did not play a regular season game, has come out in the playoffs, continues to pile up numbers. 4 other guys played no games during the regular season and then went on to the playoffs. Don Metz in 45, Mike Eaves, Colin Patterson of the 91 Flames, and also Neil Sheehy. But these are 4 guys that didn't play a regular season game but came back and played in the playoffs, but they didn't come close to accomplishing what Peter Forsberg has accomplished.
He is the leading scorer in the playoffs. He has added to it 3 shots, no goals over the last 10 periods. But he certainly has made a couple of magnificent passes, including one to Drury in the last game that proves to be a game winner, and one in this game that has given the Avs the lead as he set Reinpret up with his famous little saucer pass over the stick and onto the tape. Second period underway, 4-on-4. We've got 39 seconds left to go in the matching minor penalty, so we're still 4-on-4. Sakic from Hayduk, banged away in the air along the boards and cleared out. Penalties that came in the final minute of that first period continue to be served here. Taken back in behind the net by DeVries. Cleared it up, intended for Blake. Went by everybody. It'll be touched for an icing call. Lidstrom back to get it.
To say Peter Forsberg was pretty involved in the first period in all kinds of friction and action. When I think of Peter Forsberg, I think of a linebacker with the hands of a surgeon, because he is willing to play the linebacker kind of game with or without a stick. When it comes time to use the hands, but the hands of a surgeon.
Med school would not recommend that sort of thing, do you think? You said you wanted to be a brain surgeon. Be like the pianist going out there, chopping wood. Played back out by Fisher and a whistle. I'm not sure what. Maybe a penalty called here.
No, it's just maybe a... Well, why guess?
Okay.
Let's just leave the whole world guessing.
There was a whistle, and there'll be a face-off outside the Avs line.
It was a hand pass.
Hand pass it is.
Don Koharski and Kevin Pollak in charge of our tilt. Bill McCreary having a chance for the first time in the playoffs to sit and watch down in the rest locker room as the backup 3rd guy in this game.
Played back behind the net by Dominik Hasek. 9-5 the shots in favor of Colorado. And we're back to 5-on-5 with the matching minors expiring. Fedorov tried to take it through everybody. Forsberg reached in to help out. Cleared back in. Foot put the hit on Yzerman after he dumped it in. And a couple players collide at the side of the net. It'll be an interference call, and it's going to be on Colorado. Chris Drury got in front of Brendan Shanahan.
You wouldn't expect Bob Hartley and Chris Drury to like this. But the Red Wings now have an opportunity to get their power play possibly going. That was the call. Maybe that's why they didn't like. Chris Drury went, me? It looks like Brendan Shanahan had a pretty good stick on Chris Drury. But here's one of the stories in this series. The inability of the Detroit Red Wings power play, which was so powerful early in the playoffs and during the regular season, to get something done.
Drury gets the interference at 1:02.
One of the changes, gone back to a forward on the blue line. We expected one forward. We didn't know who it was. The Red Wings wouldn't say this morning, but it is, for now, Sergei Fedorov.
Far side, Lidstrom a chance. Blocked straight up in the air. Yell will bring it out of the zone short-handed. Yell's got room. Fedorov back. Yell goes around him. Messier reaching for the puck. And Yell tried to hit it while sliding on the ice. Good chance short-handed right there. Good effort at least. Move back as the penalty killers brought back for the Avs. Yzerman leaves it. Would have been offside. He's got to bring it out.
I think Stefan Yell's eyes got real big when he saw that he had a partial 2-on-1 with a forward back there. That was Fedorov who was back.
Detroit only 2 for 15 in this series on the power play, and in the playoffs, only 20% effective. Far side knocked down out of the zone. Blake over there and a penalty coming, and that's going to cost Detroit a minute 12 worth of power play time. A retaliatory penalty by Holmstrom, who got tied up with Blake.
Better be careful, Gary. He just poked again. Remember, Holmstrom took a double minor.
2 minutes, tripping!
2 minutes for tripping. But remember, Holmstrom took a double minor in Game 3. That really turned out to be the turning point because Colorado couldn't get anything done on it. It was a turning point in Detroit's favor, but boy, I'll tell you what, we're getting down to crunch time now, and the stakes are so high. The ante has been upped because we're now in Game 5. This is the best of 3. You've got to be so careful and so disciplined.
Yell against Yzerman in the play before. And then as the puck moved up, down went Blake, who got tripped up by Tomas Holmstrom. You can't give up power play time, obviously, here in the playoffs, and that's just what has happened to Detroit. So we go 4-on-4 again. With the face-off coming to the right of Dominik Hasek. Sakic on the draw, won it back. Kasparaitis, who's taken a couple of shots, dishes that one off for Hayduk. Hayduk hit by Chelios. Sakic down there to help Fisher, knocked it away. Fisher's got it underneath Hayduk. Backs off, though. Puck comes free and picked up by Igor Larionov. 4-on-4 for another 56 seconds. Larionov moves it in, sets a screen, another penalty. Save made on Hull's chance. This is going to be against Colorado. It is a delayed call, extra skater out, but there's the touch. So the specialty teams are going to be tested here in this second period as the penalties start to pile up.
Colorado, 2 minutes, obstruction holding.
Kevin Pollock has made all 3 of these calls. Don Koharski kind of sitting on the sidelines.
But Elon Hayduk joins Chris Drury. So we have our first 4-on-3 power play. Get your specialty teams ready. Want to remind you, tomorrow night, Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN. Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Maple Leafs, 7 o'clock. Exclusive coverage from Toronto. Here, Detroit, which had lost all that power play time, gets some of it back. And the face-off will be in the Avs zone. Steve Yzerman out to take the draw, won it. Fedorov turns it. Power play, 4-on-3. Fedorov, Lidstrom is playing the top on this power play in the diamond. One-timer Hull, save made one. Fedorov waved at it, trying to knock it in out of the air. Near side, Yell gets knocked down. Lidstrom holds it in. Leaves it. Hull again, and that one got blocked into the seats. Eric Messier.
One of the great shot blockers in the NHL today. And that is Brett Hull at his best. That was right in the wheelhouse for a one-timer. Brett Hull, if you read the article in ESPN magazine, doesn't look left, right, doesn't look for a hole. He looks high or low. That is what he goes for on the one-timers. And it looked like he was thinking low on that one, but Eric Messier was there. This is the previous shot. Look at the bend in his stick. major torquage. That tells you how good the sticks are. I'm surprised they just don't snap. Brett Hull's philosophy is, it is the stick that generates the power of the shot. It is not necessarily all of the other things. Obviously, you've got to have them, but it's his stick.
Big face-off win for the Avs to get it out of there. Adam Foote drags it in, leaves it, Sakic back to Foote, and he hit the crossbar! Mercy did that develop in a hurry. That was a short-handed 4-on-3, and Adam Foote just sliced through. And the pass by Sakic laid right on the stick. Fedorov shot, saved by Waugh. Power play is still underway here for Detroit. Lidstrom's got it. Now Drury's back out. Again, back to the point. Drury get over Hull. Chance. Blocked again. And again by Messier. Drury, who just came out of the box, takes the blue liner and missed it wide. Both teams trying to get line changes done here. Sergei Fedorov moves it upward. 4-on-4. Shot saved. Waugh. Rebound cleared. End-to-end action. Testing the goaltenders. Played by Dominik Hasek in behind the net. 20 seconds left on the Red Wings penalty, then a very short power play coming up for Colorado. Waugh will cover that one up just to try and settle it down a little bit.
Boy, can Sergei Fedorov bring it. But on a shorthanded play here, they were down to only 3 skaters, and look at this. Adam Foote's redirect, it went off the post. It might have even gone off the knob of Dominik Hasek's stick first. Yes, Dominik Hasek should get credit for a save there. I'm not sure whether he will or not. I'm not sure whether the shot keeper saw that, but Hasek got a piece of it. Otherwise, it would not have hit the crossbar.
Adam Foote rarely has minuses in any games. Each of the last 4, though, minuses have come his way.
It's been a while since he's had to play 4 consecutive games against the Red Wings, though, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They'll do that to you.
Against Hall of Famers almost every time he's on the ice. Kicked into the corner, Duchesne, still 4-on-4. Backed it up for Shanahan. Shanahan gets hit by Adam Foote. Back in behind the net. It is loose to the near side. Now a power play for Colorado for 25 seconds. Red Wings, 25-second power play. Larionov at the top. Leaves it. Chelios shot through the screen. Deflected wide by Waugh. Back to Shanahan. Holmstrom in front. Duchesne trying to set it up down low. Had it blocked once. Shot Shanahan. Deflects off the glass. Near side corner. 3 left on the advantage. Larionov moving. Leaves it. Shot Chelios wide. Power play over. 2 shots on that short power play chance. Middle, Duchesne, shot, blocked.
You got to be kidding me. 4 blocks for Eric Messier on that, the total of his 2 shifts.
And then he clears the puck out. We're back to 5-on-5. Chelios 9-irons it out. I mean, it is just fire on the ice out there right now as these teams trying to get line changes and not get caught short-handed. Darren McCarty went back. Yell tried to clear. Maltby gets it. Maltby backhanded that one right through the crease. Shot save on Olsson's chance. Patrick Waugh moving on it. Out for Yell. He got pinned up and knocked down. Colorado leads this by a score of 1-0, but Detroit starting to pile up the shots and the chances. Reinpret from Forsberg and Kasparaitis in the first period. It's the only goal right now. McCarty backed it into the corner, went back to get it himself. Third to the near side and by Hayduk. The shots are 7-4 in favor of Detroit so far in this period.
Well, we talk about the guys that are the role players that have to contribute. Eric Messier goes above and beyond just about every shift. He had 4 blocks. This was one of them on Steve Duchesne. He could follow that one with his eyes the whole time. He just doesn't want to go head first. I spoke to him about his shot blocking technique, and he said he turns away, tries to look at Patrick Waugh. If he doesn't see the puck go to Waugh or doesn't feel it hit him, he gets up right away and keeps playing.
Messier, a vitally important role player defensively for the Avs team, and you see why. 23 block shots in the playoffs, leading Colorado forwards, and a couple added to that here in tonight's game. Face off with McCarty. Moving in to take the draw against Sakic. Scotty Bowman has shuffled lines tonight, trying to find some firepower. He does not have the grind line together right now as Dandino is out there with Darren McCarty, and now Draper's out with Maltby. They do get it back together. Off the far side and into the zone. Fisher behind his own net, blocked it. Wilsey intercepted for Sakic at the side of the net and covered by Dominik Hasek. Good play in the interception by Wilsey. Sakic, their leader. 9 goals, leads the National Hockey League in goals scored. They have not come easy in this series. Still, you look at that Dominik Hasek save percentage. It's not good, but it's been good enough to keep it even. And they've given up 12 each.
Dominik Hasek is one of only 2 goalies in the history of the NHL, non-North American trained, to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. He's from the Czech Republic. Kelly Lindbergh in '85 from Sweden made it with the Flyers. No non-North American trained has ever won a Stanley Cup.
It's the one thing Dominik Hasek is after. 6 Vezinas, the goaltender of the year, but never that cup. Patrick Waugh has 3 of them. Knocked away to the point. Peter Forsberg does battle. He got it out of there as he was going at it with Boyd Devereaux. 14 minutes left to go, second period. Game 5, series even. Dished into the corner. Hall was chasing, cleared around. Olsen fell down, but he was able to keep that puck in. Had he not done that, it would have been a 2-on-1 the other way. He slipped, fell backwards, but the puck went into his skates. There's Olsen trying to clear it up ice. Forsberg blocked it. Datsyuk got it back. Skula will take it back in behind the net. Marty Skula starting it out. Skula trying to get more ice time. He played over 6 minutes in the first period of this game to try and take some of the heat off the big 4 defensemen for Colorado. Intercepted. Yzerman with Fedorov. Yzerman tied up. Hayduk tied him up from behind. Fedorov centering pass intercepted. Good back check. Hayduk. Hayduk moves it up. Detroit's got 3 back there. Hayduk leaves it. Screen. Sakic shot got deflected. Knocked away by Dominik Hasek. Sakic sends it back behind the net. Big scrum back there with Fisher finding it. Up for Shanahan. Trying to tip it out. Didn't get it out. Blake backs it off to the side to Hayduk. Hayduk looking into the middle. Verbata. Verbata's got Sakic in front. And the deflection not on net. Went right through the crease. Chelios over to Shanahan. Yzerman bats it along the wall. Lost it. Down on the ice. Blake got it out of there. Teams over the boards again as Duchesne looks for help. Found it on the far side. Dandino cleared it. Lost it. Hall sends it in. Dandino will chase it down again. End-to-end action here as we've seen most of the periods these teams have played. Very few whistles. Larionov open. Shot. No. In behind the net. Igor Larionov trying to settle that down. Waugh didn't give him anything to shoot at. Larionov gets it back. Sends it through the middle. Tied up. Far side. Blocked again. Detroit trying to create havoc down low. Robitaille could not handle that one. Duchesne stepped up. Larionov, that's way offside for the whistle. Tense, and just as it's been for almost all of this series, a 1-goal difference. Let him see red. That's the motto this year in Detroit.
Dunn-sur-Meuse, France, World War I. A grenade explosion knocks 2 American soldiers from their post. Flames spread dangerously close to a nearby bunker occupied by a U.S. Army machine gun team. First Lieutenant Claude Austin fearlessly leaps out, dodging enemy artillery. He drags his injured comrades from the fire and then leads 5 others to safety. Just in time, Army First Lieutenant Claude W. Austin, a daring and courageous American hero.
How do you possibly communicate the reality of God's love for us in 2 minutes? What I try to do is tell a story that connects with our everyday lives. Stories are visual. They show us rather than tell us. And great stories have the power to instantly express profound truth. That's really why I call it a touch of grace. Hopefully, like a touch on the shoulder from God. It reminds us that He loves us and He's always with us.
Looking for a job this summer? Check out the 2002 Summer Hire Program. Work in an office.
Or outdoors.
Log on to the Charma website.
That's www.charma.hquuser.mil. Check it out!
loss. Colorado 4-4 on the road. Colorado's got the lead here, but
they've got a one-goal lead, and they've made one-goal lead stand up like $4 stepladders in this series. So, and the way Detroit is coming, I don't think one goal will be enough again for Colorado. And you can see how hard it's been for either of these teams to get a 2-goal lead. Colorado, 3 minutes and 14 seconds is all they've had of a 2-goal lead in the series.
That's how good the series has been and how tightly played. Down the middle, Forsberg to turn on Datsu. Got it in the middle. Tip shot. And a save made off Adam Foote's chance. And I don't think Dominik Hasek realized Adam Foote was on the near side. Foote joined the flow.
And you know what, Gary? That is a complication now that Detroit is going to have to deal with. Colorado started doing it in the first period. They're sagging guys in behind coverage. They're sending when they can. Look at Adam Foote. I mean, he is inside the hash marks on that play. With Peter Forsberg turning. I think his pass was to Chris Drury. What a one-touch pass between his legs, or a one-touch redirect to Adam Foote by Chris Drury.
That was close. 46 blocked shots for Adam Foote, tied for first in that department in blocked shots, but in this game playing some offense. Swung back around the far side. Shanahan trying to get it out. Blake held it in. Chelios will have to come back to get it. Chris Chelios. Fedorov up ice. Little screen for Yzerman to Fedorov, tied up from behind by Heinold, and lost to Shanahan. Gotten back and cleared out by Sakic. Tipped away at center to Breeze. The Breeze blocked the attempted out. Sakic knocked it down again, but Fedorov came back and got it to Fisher. Gary Fisher leaves it. Fedorov up ice. Fedorov, Shanahan's in the middle. Yzerman behind him. Fedorov will take it. Yzerman shot, side of the net, hit the side of the net. Heinold clears it up. Chelios steps up. And Chris Chelios able to hold it in. Once, but not twice. Chris Chelios has missed the playoffs once in 19 years. You believe that? Talk about seeing the postseason. That long a career to make it that often and to play so well. One of the reasons he will be in the Hall of Fame.
Gary, what's interesting is he's playing with 4 guys on the blue line for Detroit that have never made it this far before this year in the playoffs. And we talk about all of the older guys playing for Detroit. They got 4 guys that have never been this far.
Guys back in, far side, Duchesne. There's one of them right there, Bill. McCarty trying to center. Duchesne had never made it into the 3rd round of a playoff in his career, and Steve Duchesne has been around for 15 years. Big battle in the corner again. Little face wash put on by Darren McCarty as he reached out on Yell. He and Yell have had some battles. Down low, shot wide of Bois by Duchesne. So Detroit defenseman trying to step in a little too. Skula cleared it around. McCarty knocks it down. McCarty, a shot deflected wide. That went off Skula's stick. The Avalanche defenseman. Dominik Hasek's going to play this. Trying to catch the Avs in a change. Not quite. Knocked away by Skula again. Picked back up after the line change. Wilsey a chance. Shot it wide. Rebound far side. Kasparaitis. Back for Wilsey. Rico Hall in the middle looking. Detroit getting their line change completed. Lidstrom trying to tie it up. Could not. Wilsey ran it side of the net. Lidstrom played it. Lidstrom takes it back behind the net. It is intense. Third back out with Brian Muir coming back.
Well, we mentioned this before in the series. If you get your 4th line out there, as Colorado did on this shift, and sustain and contain on a forecheck, you've done your job. Plus, they generated a couple of scoring chances.
Give those other 3 lines you're relying on a rest. Knocked away at center ice. Wilsey's still out there. Checked away by Holmstrom to center. Colorado will now change it up. Detroit needs a line change as well. Knocked down by Brian Muir. Deflected in from center. Penalty coming up. Ryan Pratt was on the charge. And here's the whistle.
Minor penalty interference.
Detroit will take the penalty. Ryan Pratt got knocked down. Power play Avs coming up.
This year, treat your home and yard to a whole new look. The Exchange Home Decor 2002 catalog is chock full of great home decorating ideas. Ordering is easy. Call in your order 24 hours a day and charge it to any major credit card or your Military Star card. Or shop us online through your Exchange website. Either way, there's always delivery. Pick up your free copy today. It's available now. The Exchange Home Decor 2002 catalog.
Simple things add a lot to your life. They add wonder, memories, joy. And a few simple things can help you live a longer, healthier life. like eating foods low in saturated fat and cholesterol, being physically active, watching your weight, and knowing your cholesterol numbers. After all, simple is good, and so is being healthy.
Time to roll, baby, time to roll. Trouble! No! Fist out, fist out! 3-down single now. Trevor!
Fisher in the sin bin for interference. It was a great hit. The problem for Yuri Fisher was the puck was already at the blue line when he hit Steve Reinprecht at the red line. Puck had been a little closer. He might have been able to get away with it.
He goes on the interference call, and it'll be the second power play of the game for the Colorado Avalanche. Each team's had 2. Cleared back off the far side. Blake. Drury down low, 2-on-1 with Forsberg. Tried to get it across to him, and Hasek blocked it. Detroit did not have down low coverage.
A big play by Nick Lidstrom. Just when Drury was pulling the trigger on the pass, Lidstrom hit his stick.
How scary would that be for Dominik Hasek? You take a look and you got Drury and Forsberg down there, and only one colored jersey to your favor. Chelios able to clear it out of there. Power play in a 1-0 game. Colorado leading it. Reinprecht had the goal in the first period. Detroit has picked up the play here. 3-on-2 in the power play. Forsberg waiting over to Blake. One-timer save made. Hasek gave up the rebound but pulled it back in before High Note could get there.
Help rode to the rescue for Dominik Hasek. The first time it was Lidstrom. Watch from the right of your screen the stick of Lidstrom. Whack! Right between the hands of Drury. I mean, Lidstrom's so smart he avoids gloves, so he doesn't even stand a chance of getting a slashing penalty. Then this last play, Dominik Hasek left a rebound, but Radim Vrbata was completely tied up by Chris Chelios and couldn't get to it.
Close. Hasek just had time to pull that back in. You see the shot advantage in the series and here tonight as the Red Wings have piled it up here in the second period. Now, though, they've got to kill off another minute 16 of power play time for the Avs. Back it comes to Blake. Takes the big windup shot. Hasek knocked it away. Got it with the left shoulder. And it dropped downside of the net. Colorado getting some chances here in this power play. High Note set up in front. Hayduk near side with Sakic down low. They'll lose control, and it'll be cleared by Shanahan. We've seen some changes here, not only in the lines, but on the specialty teams of both teams as well. Detroit changing up on their penalty kill. Chipped away at center. Brought in near side. Hayduk. Left it behind the net where it was intercepted and up and out. Good play made by Maltby to get it out of there. Sakic couldn't hold it in. Back into the middle. They've got 30 left on the power play for Colorado. Sakic, Drury, Hayduk out there. Hayduk dribbles a little bit along the blue line, but ultimately had to dump it in. Played back by Chelios. Chelios clears it into the middle. And that is going to give him one more chance here in the power play with down to 14 on it. Brought back up by Skula. Near side for Peter Forsberg. Forsberg charging in. Forsberg, puck rolled ahead of him. Had to come back along the wall to try and get it. Blake steps up down low. Vrbata's tip, not on net. Played around the far side. And not out of the zone. Power play, though, is over. 2 shots on it for the Avs. Forsberg still out there. Forsberg trying to wrap around Chance. Forehand. Chance got blocked. Cut back up by Vrbata. 5-on-5. Keep in mind here. Back it comes for Blake. Blake had it banged away by Fisher. And back on the attack, Detroit. Dumped in. What a hit. Rob Blake moved in that time and almost got his head taken off as he went reaching for the puck.
But he rocked Boyd Devereaux too, not once but twice on Devereaux's shift here.
Off the far side, Duchesne's chance. That got blocked. That'll roll to center. Dominik Hasek is going to come back to get it. And he'll just drop that one off in behind the net. Steve Duchesne coming over to play it. And he'll try and settle it down right here. 6:02 left to go in period number 2. Right, it's 2-goal lead. It's just unheard of in this series. We've had 2 overtime games. One game decided by 2 goals. The other decided, other 3 decided by 1. 2 in overtime. That's the way it's been. Foot comes over to get it. Around for high note. Chelios reached. Fisher will play it. Barry Fisher will skate it backwards. 21-year-old. Playing much older than that in this playoff year. In the middle for Holmstrom. Holmstrom looking. Larionov in front of the net. And gloved on the pass by Waugh. Coming up, our Southwest intermission. John and Barry will be there. Get caught up. East versus West. A breakdown in the styles by Barry. BBC, where are they? Going to find out. Here it's 1-0 Colorado.
Maybe you think changes don't come easily, but the deaf can be heard. The blind can open eyes. The paraplegic can run. Because on one Tuesday in November, it's a level playing field. But only if you register and vote.
Plugging in extension cables together. It's no big deal. I do it all the time.
This connection is a little loose. I'll replace it next week.
If it gets hot, just unplug it for a while.
Electrical circuitry overload is the cause for over 30% of total fires in U.S. Army Europe. Too many appliances plugged into the same receptacles or loose and frayed cords just add to the problem. Any way you look at it, it still spells fire.
It's the show that goes where you go. Join us for Destinations as we look at the people, places, and things making life in Europe interesting. Hang out with us. Make your destination AFN Atlantic every Thursday evening at 6:30 Central European Time.
Specialist Golden.
Here for Sergeant.
Sergeant Phillips.
Here for Sergeant.
Specialist Woods.
Last year, 17 of our soldiers died in vehicle accidents.
Specialist Woods. Specialist Woods.
Fans here at the Joe trying to pump it up, and so is Scotty Bowman as he puts the firepower out there together.
Fedorov in the middle, Shanahan on one side, Yzerman on the other, Lidstrom and Olesen back on the blue line. This is the Red Wings' top 5-man unit right here.
Scotty Bowman got to find some goals from his scorers here. Down just 1-0 in this game, but that has been the story of the series for them. The big guns still have not been able to put it behind Patrick Waugh. Near side, Joe Sakic. Sakic turning to the middle. DeVries was cutting left at Hayduk. Hayduk sends it back into the corner. That's where these scrums continue. Sakic, Fedorov. Fedorov got it. Fedorov turns it, looking in the middle. Had that one bumped off Sakic's stick and out to center. Sergei Fedorov leads all forwards for Detroit in ice time. He's the man Scotty Bowman is really looking at, with Yzerman playing injured, to get things going offensively. So he's drawing extra ice time by working in on other lines.
Got the stamina of a marathon runner, too.
He can just go.
You bet. Scotty can play him forever and still have something left inside his tank.
Ryan Pretter's got the goal. Leaves it for Drury. Intercepted. That is Fedorov, who bumped that off Ryan Pret back to Forsberg. Forsberg to Drury. A little run. Drury missed it short side. There's Drury, went plug side on Hasek and did not get it on net. And he got a hard shot off. Olesen clears it out. It's going to have to be played by Adam Foote. He's got Larionov moving in. Patrick Waugh directing traffic out there, hollering out about where Larionov was. Back into the zone, Wilsey in. Wilsey shuts it down, waits for help, dumped it in front, blocked by Larionov. Into the corner. Hall leaves it in the middle. Pass behind everybody. Hasek out to play it. Tomas Holmstrom, Robitaille, and Larionov out there together. Larionov doesn't have his stick. Cleared around towards Larionov, who puts the hit on Skula. Wilsey a chance, bounces off a glove.
Who was yelling, not now, not now.
I don't want it now. I have no stick. Up the near side, it'll be moved by Chris Chelios.
Igor Larionov still without his stick, and because he was on this side of the ice trying to make sure that he held his position, couldn't get to the bench.
Draper gets it back. Holmstrom hit by Yell. Puck up against the boards. Cleared back. Messier moves it out. Detroit getting a change. Ravadas chance. Save. Dominic Hasek. Cleared up ice. Trying to get McCarty out in front. Blake says, got the stick and the body in on that one.
And the puck.
Controlled the puck and cleared it out of the zone. Drury sends it in as he got knocked down. Hasek back to play it. This game just firing along here. Only 3 minutes left to go in the second period. Shots are 15-14 in favor of Detroit. But Colorado's got the 1-0 lead on the even strength goal by Reinfeldt. Center McCarty. He had the chance, but the puck was bouncing over his stick.
He just had to hope that the bounce worked for him. It worked against him.
Couldn't get the stick on it. Darren McCarty in the middle. Again, Blake out there on him. Forsberg reaching in. Gets hit by Draper. McCarty frees the puck up. Blake won't let him go. DeVries played the puck up the wall and out. And Lidstrom will come back.
Then again, battles along the wall. Play to a stalemate, and then hope that the guy that gets there to create a numerical advantage for your team is your guy. And in that case, it was DeVries that got there. He was the third guy into the corner.
Hall cleared it in. Forsberg clears it out. Olsen on him. DeVries drops it wide side. Delayed offside call won't matter. Up for Sakic, who's got a step. Sakic on Datsuk. Shot. Hasek, a save. Rebound off Hasek, and he covers it. Sakic tried to bank it in off Hasek. It was on the ice. He caught it and held on.
Dominik Hasek earning his keep right now, folks. Peter Forsberg and Joe Sakic out there together for the first time in this game. Joe Sakic being hounded from behind by Datsuk. Still was able to get his shot away. Hasek took away low. Now he's got to keep looking for the puck, and I don't think he took his eye off the puck. We'll see from our Southwest Airlines goaltender. Watch Hasek. He knew exactly where the puck was, and when Sakic put it back out, he was there for it.
A pad save, laying on your wallet with your legs facing the backboards.
I'll guarantee you that he doesn't try to make that save if he knows Joe Sakic is in free and clear. But with Datsuk hounding, Hasek will always factor that in. If he doesn't think the guy can get a clean shot away and have time to make a clear decision, he'll go down like that and just lie down low.
Joe Sakic, who is 17th all-time in playoff goals with 65, tied for 23rd in playoff points. Back up with it. Chris Chelios sends that one in. Waugh comes back to play it. Left it, foot around the boards. Fisher stepping up, saying, I got it, and he did. Shot, miss, short side. Sergei Fedorov took it. Chelios a chance, knocked away. Patrick Waugh, that short side covered again. Fedorov trying to move it around the D. Adam Foote won't let him go. Gets some help. Shanahan, a shot, wide again. Rebound, right off Waugh behind him, on top of the net. He blocked it. It went up in the air, and it landed next to the water bottle.
Man. And he had to get out of the way, too. He knew it was up in the air, and he had to make sure it didn't come down on his back or his shoulder.
Take a look at our Visa storyline. Reinfeldt the goal, 7th of the playoffs. Forsberg, 84th career playoff assist, most in franchise history.
Our Visa replay, we don't have to rewind too far for this one. The last play, the puck that ended up on top of the net. There was Patrick Waugh. You see how he turned around very quickly and got away from the crossbar? Watch how he gets away from the crossbar as soon as he knows the puck is actually above his shoulders. See how he turned around to field it? If it came down into his glove, he didn't need it. The netting on top of the goal got it.
How about these last two saves at each end? Dominik Hasek facing the backboards, gets it off the pads. Patrick Waugh gets one that goes right straight up behind him and lands on the top of the net in a one-goal game. Messier sends that in, takes a bounce to the side of the net. Notice Hasek not moving very far out of that net on those dump-ins, but some of the hops here in Detroit can be pretty weird. Yell brings it in. Yell drops it into the corner. Wilsey gets hit by Lidstrom. Played by Datsuk. 1 minute left to go in the period. Nick Lidstrom, the near side wall. So far, that one goal, first period by Reinfeldt, has held up for Colorado. Down hard in the corner. Right back up Dandino. He got leveled pretty good. Dandino open shot. Hit the outside of the net. Centered Robitaille, and open was Hall. Hall had that a little too close to the skates as he had snuck in, and Patrick Waugh, I don't think, saw him. Near side Dandino again, penalty coming. There's the whistle. It's on the Avs. Joe Sakic.
I guess we shouldn't expect anything less.
19 Colorado, minor penalty, interference.
The dramatic saves at both ends, the great scoring chances. One by Brett Hull. I think what happened to Brett Hull on this play is not only was it too far in front of him, but it came through a screen and he might have picked it up late. But then they just kept the pressure torqued up and at least drew the penalty. Datsuk was trying to get to the front, and that pretty well qualifies. Joe Sakic with a little pitchfork end over end like he was throwing a bale of hay.
And there he sits. That's the first penalty Sakic has picked up in this series, and only the second one of the playoff year. 1932 interference. This is the third power play of the game for Detroit. Only 27 seconds left to go in the period. The Avs try and clear Waugh to Foot, and Foot will get it out of there. 2 for 17 in this series for Detroit on the power play. Onside Yell. Yell shorthanded. Ashing. He's got to hang on, and that's going to create a face-off in the Detroit zone.
A good play by Stefan Yell. Not only to take the shot, but once the shot was launched, to hustle in for a rebound. All you want to do is force Dominik Hasek to hang on to it long enough for a face-off. So with 11 seconds to go here in this period, it looks like Colorado will get out of trouble on this penalty kill.
Face-offs have been just about even in this game, only a 2 advantage.
Unlike Game 4, where Detroit dominated. And both of these teams are pretty well puck control teams. Detroit a little more. Face-offs are important to puck control teams.
Taken by Foot. He moves in. He gets a chance. Hasek going to make a save. And a good play by Yzerman to pick up that loose puck. Dangerous. That's going to do it. There'll be a minute 32 left on the power play in the third period for Detroit. Joe Sakic will be on that in that box coming back. The shots 11-8 in favor of Detroit in this period after Colorado had the first period advantage 9-5.
Even shorthanded, the Avs dangerous. Dan Highnote. Well, I'll tell you what, for a guy that plays wing most of the time, he won that one cleanly. Back to Adam Foote. So at the end of this, the Avs have torqued up the pressure again. More to come. I'm not sure I can figure it out, but I bet John and Barry can. Guys?
We're still looking for the answers right here. We do know this much, that Colorado's not been a good third period team this year. They don't look like they're trying to win 1-0, but just the same, you don't get a good feeling for the Avalanche fans.
Well, Detroit's so talented. You know one of these minutes someone's going to get a scoring chance. It's going to be one of those big four that we talk about all the time. But now saying that, I did like the way Colorado attacked. I like the way they're killing penalties, very aggressive. They're not sitting back. They're trying to score shorthanded goals. They're better on draws than Detroit. They're winning draws consistently both ends of the rink, which is big when you're trying to protect a lead. I like the way they played. If they can go out and play the third the way they did the second, I think they'll be very happy.
By the way, this game, as advertised for the series, the goaltenders, the best in the business, Hasek and Patrick Waugh, who will go up 3-2. When we come back, Barry's going to talk a little offense-minded in the West versus a little grind in the East. It's all coming up.
It doesn't take much to set off a landmine. In fact, one explodes every 20 minutes, simply because someone steps in the wrong place. Over 100 million landmines lay buried beneath the earth. Help CARE end the crisis.
Freedom to think for yourself.
To disagree with the government.
Freedom to be equal.
To be different.
Freedom to raise a family.
To marry the man I love.
The freedom to worship the God of my choice.
To live with dignity.
The freedom to be me.
To be whatever I want to be.
Defending freedom for over 200 years.
Flying ambulances make sure troops wounded in Afghanistan receive top-notch medical care. See how the Air Force's armada of cargo aircraft keeps the front lines supplied. And find out why a Travis NCO satisfies his need for speed competing in motorcycle races. May's Airman Magazine. Pick it up now.
come, but right now Colorado with a 1-0 lead over Detroit, hoping to go up 3-2. The Red Wings looking to do that same by winning the third period. John Saunders alongside of Barry Melrose. At the start of this series, we talked about all the Hall of Famers on both these teams. Counted up about a dozen, 13 or 14. If you look in the other series, you think of Ron Francis is a lock. Yeah. Matt Sundin, if he keeps going the way he is, and
maybe Cujo if he lights it up the next few years.
That's the difference.
But you're right, exactly. The Eastern Conference and the Western Conference are both in the NHL, folks, but that's the only similarity they have. The Western Conference is an offensive conference. It's an attacking conference. They have more talented players, offensive talented players in the West. You're going to see prettier goals in the West. You're going to see a faster style of play in the West because they got guys like Sergei Fedorov. Basically, you're going to see better uniforms in the West. It's tough to beat Detroit right there. Great old jersey. And it's just faster, more aggressive, more intense, more entertaining hockey as far as I'm concerned with the West. You got teams like Edmonton, New Jersey, or Dallas, teams like that. Now in the East, the trap was created in the East, folks. That's all I need to tell you guys. Everybody over there plays the trap. They don't have as many skilled players. It's more of a grinding, outnumbered style play, more of a physical style of play, a slower style of play. You're not going to see the wide-open, pretty goals by Forsberg and players like that. And I'll give you an example. Luc Robitaille, 600 goals, all-time leading scorer, left-wingers. Everyone knows what he does in the West. Scored 30 goals again for Detroit Red Wings. When he went to the East for the New York Rangers in Pittsburgh, almost ended his hockey career. He could not play in the East with that style of play. So the West is a much more entertaining style of play. I love the West, but New Jersey and a couple of other teams have pretty good teams in the East because of the dreaded trap.
Luke might have had 700 goals if he stayed
all those 2 years in the
West. So if you're going to grind it out in the East, you better have your best players playing your best. And right now, the BBC line for Carolina, despite the fact they're up 3-2, has not been what they were earlier.
But the BBC line is an exact copy and example of how Lions play in the East. They're big, they can all check, they're physical, they're all pretty good defensively, and they can all score if they get a chance, but that's not their main job. But you look in this series, they're not putting the puck in the net. They were so great the first two series against New Jersey and against Montreal, but right now they're getting their chances, which is good. Brendan Moore hit the post last game late in the game, but this team has to score too because the Francis line gets the most attention, and the best players are playing against the Francis line. That means that this line, the BBC line, will get the lesser defensive players. They must start scoring. If they start scoring, this series is over for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
When Toronto goes down 3-1, no one expects that they're going to win 3 straight games to come back. They've been injured. They're banged up. Suddenly, they have one go off Darcy Tucker's foot. It goes in. Now it's 3-2 coming back home. Is the pressure back on Carolina?
Yeah, it is, because no one's expecting Toronto to win. They're at home, and it's a great story. If Toronto loses next game, it's been a successful year, and they've overcome so much, and they'll be the darlings at Toronto. Pat Quinn fighting health problems to coach. So everyone loves Toronto right now. But Carolina knows you do not want to get in a Game 7 with Cujo and net, with a guy like Gary Roberts, who's been so great. Sundin is getting better each game. Mogilny looked better last game than he did before. So they want to finish this in Game 6, believe it or not.
And, oh, by the way, they've won 2 of the 3 games played at Carolina. So they feel very comfortable playing in Raleigh. That Game 6 will be tomorrow night right here on ESPN, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Cujo and the Leafs hoping to force a Game 7.
This intermission report is presented by Southwest Airlines.
Welcome to Daily News Update. I'm Petty Officer Jennifer Gray. Here are the latest headlines from the Navy News Service. Telling the story straight is key to overcoming message mismatch, Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Vern Clark said during the recent 2002 Worldwide Navy Public Affairs Symposium. 10 lucky winners and their guests will get to enjoy the ultimate American holiday in Washington, D.C. as part of the Navy's MWR's Celebrate a Monumental Fourth contest. Get details on these stories and more at www.news.navy.mil. This has been a Daily News Update. I'm Petty Officer Jennifer Gray in Washington.
It's a distinction few American military officers have received, the 5-star rank. Congress created it during World War II as a way of providing equal appearance, giving top American leaders equal rank with the long-standing Allied ranks of Field Marshal and Admiral of the Fleet. By 1950, 5-star rank had been awarded to 9 officers, each of whom distinguished himself throughout his military career. 5 generals of the Army and 4 fleet admirals. In perilous times, these generals and admirals served their country with honor and distinction, commanding operations in Washington and troops in Europe and the Pacific. 9 of America's greatest military leaders, the 5 stars, generals of the Army and fleet admirals of the United States Navy.
Whether you're stationed ashore or at sea, your Navy exchange system is here for you. Our mission is to become your Navy family store. Our worldwide Navy exchanges save you an average of 18% on merchandise you purchase, and you don't pay sales tax. Our super value and private label merchandise will save you even more. All Navy exchange profits go to your base to support MWR programs. Your Navy exchange system. We are your Navy family store.
West Airlines Intermission Report, John Saunders and Barry Melrose. And Barry, you get the feeling that all the great saves might add up to a very close 1-goal game. Hasek hot here.
If you're a Detroit fan, this is the best he's played in the series, the sharpest he's looked, I believe, John.
Space A Travel. What a way to see the world. But you can only sign up once you're on leave. And of course, you'll have to be on leave while you're traveling, during your stay, and when you return. Space A. It can be a great way to travel.
Plugging in extension cables together. It's no big deal. I do it all the time.
This connection is a little loose. I'll replace it next week.
If it gets hot, just unplug it for a while.
Electrical circuitry overload is the cause for over 30% of total fires in U.S. Army Europe. Too many appliances plugged into the same receptacles or loose and frayed cords just add to the problem. Any way you look at it, it still spells fire.
What do you mean Ground's never coming back? Why does he get to stay up? Where do babies come from?
Did you smoke marijuana when you were my age?
The older they get, the more complicated the questions. Here's how to answer.
Coming May 28th to AFN Sports. See the world's best players compete for the year's second Grand Slam. The 2002 French Open. May 28th through June 8th, only on the AFN Sports Channel.
By keeping my car regularly tuned, I save money on gas and repairs. That also means cleaner air. You know, feels good to help save the cash, planet.
The environment. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
Much. Larry Walker right now probably has a TV set and watching us.
Best player in baseball, Larry Walker.
Agreed. The Rockies take on the Padres. After the game is done, Larry, get out of the clubhouse and go take bat. We'll see you at 10.
I am freedom, and I stand tall.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I am the beacon that inspires hope. I embrace people of all cultures and faiths.
The natural state of mankind is freedom.
Standing together to make a better world.
The world is a fine place and worth fighting for.
Media needs. Visual Information Services Europe. Vice Media. Media support. Vice Media is now processing and printing your user unit's 35mm and digital photos for official purposes. User unit. Media support. Media need. Media support.
www.navier.navy.mil. Whether you're new to life in the Navy or about to retire, on duty or enjoying liberty, you'll find information that applies to you and your life on the U.S. Naval Forces Europe website. Log on and get the facts on bases and installations, ports of call, employment, education, Navy news, and more. www.navier.navy.mil, bringing pertinent information to sailors, Marines, and their families.
USUR Community Soccer Finals kick off Friday, June 21st and run through the 23rd in Shape, Belgium. Come support your team and cheer them on as they go into battle. For details, call DSN 370-7944.
Slack key guitar music originated in Hawaii in the early 1800s when Spanish cowboys brought over guitars and taught the Hawaiians how to play, but they didn't teach Hawaiians how to tune the guitars. So it's called slack key because you generally slacken the strings from standard tuning to get a big open sound. The idea of slack key guitar music is to have as many open strings as possible. Traditionally, slack key players were very secretive about their tunings. There was a sense of mystery behind slack key music and certain players that knew certain tunings because if you didn't use a particular tuning, you couldn't get that sound. And tunings, they each have a very unique sound of their own. Slack key players now are much less secretive about their art. Through festivals and workshops, it's becoming more than just the Hawaiian music, but it's accepted throughout all the United States.
Just having this on your driver's license doesn't make you an organ donor. Telling your family does. Make sure they know your wishes or it won't happen. Talk to your family about donating life.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Nextel, how business gets done, by the United States Postal Service, and by Subaru. Visit us at Subaru.com to see our full line of all-wheel drive vehicles.
Welcome back to Detroit, everybody. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, and Brian Engblom, going to the third period of a pivotal Game 5. The Avalanche continue to have the 1-0 lead, but a minute 32 on the Detroit power play to start this period. Downstairs, Brian Engblom.
Gary, it's a 1-0 hockey game, so block shots are going to be big. Colorado had 80 block shots before this game here tonight. Eric Messier in this game has 6. Let's take a look at exactly how he's able to accomplish this. Bill Clement talked about it. His timing is absolutely incredible. Actually, we're coming out of the Steven Reinprecht goal here, and we'll have to come back to this later, guys. This is the only goal that was scored in the game. Steven Reinprecht doing an outstanding job here. He knew he had the open net, and he just buried there. I apologize for a little technical glitch there. We'll try and get back to Eric Messier later.
Brian, you got 6 block shots to wait to show us, man. We'll get back to you for sure because Eric Messier has been just dynamic. 14-3 in block shots. But that tells you that Detroit brought it on in the second period. They're going to try to bring it on now because they start the third with the power play.
Block shots 14-3 with that advantage to the Avs. What a job they've done in front of Patrick Waugh. The only goal scored in that first period. Reinprecht got it. Forsberg and Kasparaitis at 17-11. It has stood up. Can it stand up here? Power play Detroit, their third of the game. Lidstrom will play the point. Big chance to get back. Shot over the net by Fedorov playing the point, and that ended up in the seats. It didn't touch an Av, so the faceoff's coming out to center.
I don't know what happened on that shot. Sergei Fedorov has sure hands and a blazing shot. Won the hardest shot competition at the All-Star break. Did the puck bounce? No, but nice, flat, good torque on the stick. And then it just went into outer space. Thomas Holmstrom went to the front of the net, and all of a sudden it became incoming. Boy, and he's not used to that. Sergei Fedorov doesn't lose his shot high very often.
Sergei Fedorov, 57 shots coming into this game, leads Detroit in the series in that department, and 4 in the league in the playoffs. And Fedorov's been willing to gun it. The goals have come hard, though. He's had only 1 goal in the last 10 games. Here's Holmstrom on the power play continuing here. 55 seconds left on it. Lidstrom, Hull. Hull drops it back. Holmstrom trying to get set up in front. Shot, Fedorov. He missed it again.
I think it might have hit somebody in front, but he sure didn't miss it high.
Boy, that thing screamed to the near side. Shot by Yzerman. Covered with the stick by Patrick Roy on the short side. It's a goal! It's a goal! They're signaling it went in. Roy did not get it. This game is tied. Power play goal by Yzerman.
Patrick Roy is not arguing. I thought there might be a problem for him. Steve Yzerman saying it went right in. Patrick Roy ended up in a real awkward position, and you could tell he was trying to squeeze off a puck that he didn't really know where it was. Watch this, lots of room for Yzerman to come out. Steve Yzerman was yelling immediately, yes, yes, it's in the net, yes! He saw it before anybody. Watch from goal cam. Yzerman marches. Oh, yeah. Patrick Roy tried to hide it with his pad, hoping that the world would go away for a couple of seconds, but it didn't. And Steve Yzerman is on the board. And so are the Red Wings.
Sakic was in the box. He comes out of there. The power play goal by Yzerman, 67th, tying Gordie Howe for the most in Detroit history in the playoffs. And as that ignited the Joe, a 1-1 game, and it scored in the first minute of the third period.
But there's no way this thing should be waved off. Steve Yzerman was right because it went up and dropped right down, and there's no way a whistle could be that fast. Steve Yzerman started yelling right away because he could see it as he was going the other way behind the net.
Forsberg and Sakic both were talking to the referee, but it's a goal. And it is a power play goal. And a 1-1 game.
Steve Yzerman is a master at stepping out. We've seen him do it countless number of times, especially in the playoffs. You give him time, he'll step out from the side, and he'll find daylight somehow. The shot, it dropped. There was no delay from the time the shot hit Patrick Roy till it fell down behind him. Absolutely the right call.
This is the 8th time the Colorado Avalanche have lost a lead. They've lost 3 games and leading after 2 periods in the playoffs, the most in the NHL, including Game 3 against Detroit. I guess in this series alone, they've lost a lead 8 times.
I guess the other way to look at it is the Detroit Red Wings have overcome deficits 8 times. The problem for Detroit is they keep digging themselves a hole, but now they're out of it.
Tied here in the third period. On the goal picked up by Yzerman. Oh, he's got a heck of a finish in this one. Back out the center. Olsen got it out. Adam Foote picks it back up. Foote looking into the middle. Instead dumps it. It hits Forsberg in the back. Goes into the corner. Played by Datsu. 54 seconds into the third. Yzerman gets his first of this series, 6th of the playoffs. Hull and Fedorov picking up the assist in the power play goal. Joe Sakic, high note. Didn't have anybody on the other wing. They were changing. Puck sits at the point. Darren McCarty able to clear it out. Patrick Roy back to get it. A 1-1 game. Series tied at 2-2. This game of the series goes back to Colorado, Denver, for the game on Wednesday night. One way or the other, somebody's going to lead. High note collided with Hayduk at center ice. Both get up. Pretty good hit by teammates right there. Off the near side, Maltby sent it in. DeVries. Blake played it off the boards. Cleared back up by Hayduk, the center. Fisher back to get it. Gary Fisher turning near side for Fedorov. Fedorov dropped it off. Chelios has to get back. Wilsey blocks it into the corner. Fedorov sends it back for Fisher. Fisher around for Maltby. Kurt Maltby in a 3-on-3. Tried to drop it back. Taken away by Hall. Cleared back up. They caught him changing. Wilsey was wide open, but Maltby stepped in and intercepted the pass. Down the near side, Yzerman again. Run out by Kasparaitis and knocked down. Wilsey will flip that one into the zone to allow a change for the Avalanche. Duchesne back on the touch and an icing call.
Well, Scotty Bowman talked about his big guns having to get it done in Colorado. Robitaille and Fedorov got on the board, and here in Game 5, Steve Yzerman is on the board with his first goal of the series. Still trying to make it happen. Steve Yzerman has looked stronger in the skating department with each game in this series. That time he just had too much muscle in the form of Darius Kasparaitis to get around.
Face-off coming to the right of Waugh, who is still testing the short side on the stick side. Waugh was going like he was playing that shot again in his mind during this timeout. He went to the post, put the stick down, still trying to figure out how he could not have stopped that. The Avalanche clear it out. Detroit will come back and get it. Dandino back in his own end. High note up on the check. Near side up for Robitaille. Goes by him to center. Adam Foote trying to drop it off. School has picked up his ice time in this game for the Avs. High note in. Shot blocked into the corner. Bounced into the air. And Hasek got to come out and play that. It went off a stick and went straight up in the air in the slot.
Good time for a fair catch.
Yeah. Want to remind you, there's more of this tomorrow night. It'll be Ron Francis and the Hurricanes in Toronto. Gary Roberts, Curtis Joseph, and the Leafs. 7 o'clock, exclusive coverage on ESPN. Carolina needing one more win to wrap it up.
Well, there are 3 other teams that want Stanley, too, that are still alive. The Detroit Red Wings, however, are built to win it all this season, and they are locked in a death struggle against the Colorado Avs. What a tremendous series it has been already. Somewhat unpredictable. Weird things happening. Colorado coming out flat in Game 4, which really took me by surprise. The series is tied.
Blake, chance, save. Hasek in the midsection. Rob Blake firing some shots in this game, as he has led his team with 3 shots through 2 periods and adds another there.
Well, there was some speculation about Rob Blake's hand or his wrist being hurt. From what I've seen tonight, look at the jump. Look at the aerial right there by Steve Reinprecht. Man, I'd like to see him with a basketball to see if he could dunk after that leap.
It's pretty close. Off the face-off, it'll be won by Fedorov. Red Wings flip it out of the zone. Blake is way back to play it. Detroit at center. Lidstrom. Hope checked away near side. Maltby came back to get it. Centered around the boards. Fedorov out there, as we said, he's been doubling up on line. Sergei Fedorov, extra ice time out there for Detroit. Here comes Drury. Reinprecht with him. Reinprecht in the middle, trying to get it to Drury. At a block. Fedorov still out there, clears it out. Adam Foote back at center. Wings completing a line change. Foote tried to rush it in, couldn't. Forsberg overskated, pushed it away. Played by Kasparaitis. Too far for Sakic. Near side again, Lidstrom. Pass blocked, and it's going to be whistled on the offside as Verbarda picked it up.
Darius Kasparaitis has had a terrific series for the Colorado Avs. Has dropped his stick a couple of times. Saturday afternoon in Game 4, he not only dropped his stick, but he saw it disappear into the stands because Holmstrom of the Red Wings tossed it in. Of course, being the good fans that they are, they just tossed it back to their hometown guy, Darius Kasparaitis. Had that been seen by a ref, by the way, it would have been a couple of minutes for unsportsmanlike, then a misconduct penalty. But why would a ref look back at one end when there's only one player down there? You know, you don't expect anything to happen.
Especially that. Cleared back up, and Kasparaitis out on the ice. Tipped into the zone. Fisher moves it away to center. Kasparaitis got it up again. Sakic cutting. Sakic with Hayduk. Shot saved. Hasek going backwards and hung on with Hayduk coming on the left side. This is when the cream rises to the top and the stars are stars, because it's grit time right now in this series.
Both of these goalies have impacted the outcomes of different games in this series. Patrick Waugh did Game 4 Saturday. Dominik Hasek did, I think, Game 1. Remember how rusty the Red Wings looked after their week-long layoff? The first 2 periods, it was all Colorado in Game 1, and then Detroit took it over in the 3rd period, but they would not have been in the game if Dominik Hasek had looked anything other than a guy that had 1 day rest and not 7 days.
Dominik Hasek now 47-37 in playoff history. Patrick Waugh, of course, in the last game passed the all-time mark of Mark Messier, most playoff games played ever. Waugh lets that one go, and he had to make a save on it. He started moving out, Shanahan skated by it. Blake came in to clear it into the seats, and Waugh's down on the ice. Waugh looked like he was going to play the puck, and then he backed up. and ended up having to make a save, and then the collisions began.
You see him down in the ice, though. I think he was waving off Pat Carnes, the athletic trainer of the Avs, saying, all right, don't know where I am, but I'm all right. Now he got crashed into it. That was a bit of a miscommunication, not once but twice. Right here, Patrick Waugh looked like he was going to get it. And it was Milan Hajduk that put it back into him, or Danny Highnote that put it back into him thinking he was going to get it. And on Southwest Airlines goaltend, there came the collision. Looked like he just got kind of his body squashed or got elbowed in the face. I don't know. But it looked like he was in kind of an awkward position.
Saying I'm all right right there.
The wave off. I'm okay. I want a curveball.
Back it comes to the point. Held in by Lidstrom. Shots are even at 19. Score is even at 1. Series is even at 2. Length of the ice on it. Icing call coming maybe. Drury trying to get there ahead of it. Won't. Lidstrom puts the touch on it for the face-off back in the Colorado zone. It has been a problem for Colorado that they didn't have in the regular season, losing 3 games in which they had a lead going into the third period here this playoff year. Wise save percentage has increased as it's moved along. Bob Hartley has enjoined his team to play tougher, grittier hockey against Detroit that has had the step on him prior to this game.
Watch the elbows of Patrick Waugh here. Left elbow coming in. Yeah, he actually looked like he might have swung his arm so hard with his elbow hitting the post that he hyperextended his arm a little bit.
And obviously he's not going anywhere if he can get back up breathing. Played back. Kasparaitis out there with Foot, the defensive pairing. Near side for Sakic, but way behind him. Foot picks it up. Sends it in. Broken stick. And a whistle anyway on the offside. Milan Hajduk, and Colorado's trying to get going. He's had only 3 goals in the playoffs so far, and Hajduk in this series has picked up just 1 goal and playing at a -1, even though he's led the team with 15 shots in the first 4 games.
It's been kind of a revolving door on the left side of this line, though. We think of Sakic and Hajduk together, and Alex Tanguay out of the lineup with what the Avs say is a leg injury. On the other side, Brian Wilsey out there now. We've seen Dan Highnote out there. We've seen Radim Bravada, so it's been kind of a revolving door on the left side of Sakic.
He joined us late. Tanguay a scratch in this game with a leg injury. He played in all of the previous games. Mike Keane also a scratch in this game, as he was in the last one. In behind the net, Foot came back to get it. Robitaille trying to tie him up. Adam Foot trying to turn up the far side. Got it away to Sakic. Sakic turned by Fisher to Hajduk, just out of his reach. And swept by Chelios off the wall and then out to center. Adam Foot again. How many times has he touched the puck tonight? Cleared back in by Wilson.
They're not backing up. They're gapping up, if anything. They're staying way up. Adam Foot has really pressed the issue with the blue line. So is Darius Kasparaitis. Wouldn't call it a pinch. They're just not bailing as quickly and pulling off the blue line.
So Foot is able to play the puck a lot in this game as a result there at center ice. He dumped that one in. Robitaille tipped it away to center and tried. Went cross ice. Larionov reached back. Highnote intercepted. Sent the other way by Messier. Fisher gets it. Fisher will flip that out with Detroit changing it up. Blake comes back to get it. 13:25 to go. We're in the third period. And this game is tied at 1 apiece. Messier tied up along the boards by Devereaux. Had it knocked away by Blake. Still nobody's got a handle on it. Blake will come into his own end. He intercepted. Messier knocked it away. Comes to the blue line and out as it went off Highnote, and Brett Hull picks it up. Hull continues to be their leader in this playoff year in goals scored as he has picked up 7. In the corner, Datsuk. Hull reached in. Hand-on shot will be moved up and out of the zone. Highnote got it out of there. Ryan Pratt cutting to the net. Forsberg got spun around, lost control.
Great stick by Nick Lidstrom. Boy, I'll tell you what, nobody in this game has better timing than Lidstrom.
Adam Foot back in his own zone. Foot moves to the red. Again sends it in. It was a shot. Dominik Hasek knocked it down. Left it. Olsen around. Drury got a piece of that trying to hold it in. Did. Drury trying to back it into the middle. Blocked. And set out of the zone. Good defensive play by Boyd Devereaux that time. Again, teams changing. Adam Foot getting to that point where next goal wins. Yell left it. Provide a shot off the block. Rabada in the corner. Leaves it behind the net. D trying to close in. Hasek got a little defensive help out in front as it got knocked away. Good work by Stefan Yell in the corner. Yell and Hall created the offensive chance down low for the Avs. All the way to Skula. Dished it back into the middle. Fedorov out there with Yzerman, who leaves it for Maltby. Maltby is on that far wing, came over to help. Yell will get the puck, though. Yell just wants to get it in and get to the bench. Does so as he got knocked down. Detroit, quick line changes here for both of these teams. Nobody wants to get caught out there for long shifts at this point.
Nobody wants to make a mistake, Gary. I mean, it's a conservatively played period. I mean, the next goal might very well determine the series. Whoever wins this game will most likely, not definitely, obviously, but most likely win this series. They've got the best chance, and you don't see any low percentage plays. Everything is just safety, safety, safety.
Being played by the book here. The dump in behind the net. Waugh came back to get it. Put it around the dasher. Chelios was waiting, but it came down before it got to him. Sakic's ahead of the play here. Move back in. Kasparaitis a chance. Save made. Kasparaitis, best offensive game he's played. Knocked down by Reinfeldt. Brought back in Forsberg. Shot. Got blocked. Rebound. Bouncing. Drury went behind the net. Forsberg. It goes under the glove of Hasek, and he hangs on. All they've got to do is get up off the ice and keep doing it.
On the night of November 12, 1942, a Japanese naval force sailed to Guadalcanal intent on shelling the U.S. Marines there. An outnumbered U.S. naval force met the enemy head-on. In an unusual strategy, the flagship cruiser USS San Francisco boldly ran the gauntlet, zigzagging to within yards of the enemy ships. Gunfire lit the night sky, and the San Francisco was in mortal danger. But the brave actions of 4 men saved the ship and earned each of them the Medal of Honor, more than on any other ship in a single action in World War II. Boatswain's Mate First Class Reinhard Kepler saved the ship from fire. Lieutenant Commander Herbert Sconlin kept the ship afloat by skillfully using the flush valves. Commander Bruce McCandless took command of the action topside when the bridge was destroyed. And Admiral Daniel Callahan designed and implemented the bold strategy that saved hundreds of Marines on Guadalcanal. 4 men, each awarded America's highest military honor for his actions during World War II.
Here's what's coming up on AFN Sports. AFN Sports, your 24/7 sports channel.
Exclusive coverage of the Western Conference Finals here in Detroit. A 1-1 game. Laid back in behind the net to Chris Chelios. Detroit moves it. Fedorov. Pass ahead of him. Adam Foote. Kasparaitis with it. Maltby moved in. Held in. Yzerman. Poke checked away and out of the zone. Near side, Fisher's got it. Good play by Wilsey, who poke checked that away on the other side. Sent back in by Maltby. Yzerman, Fedorov in the middle. Yzerman shot blocked. Yzerman had a half a step.
Adam Foote with a desperation dive, and he got it with his stick.
Colorado continues to have to block shots, as we showed you through the first 2 periods. 14-3. The Avs with the shot blocking numbers. Back comes DeVries. Holmstrom touched that one up, reached around, but not quite in time. Midway through period number 3.
Let's go back and take a look at a key play at the end of the second period. The Avalanche trying to go for their first 2-goal lead in this game, only their second 2-goal lead in the series if they could get it. If they could get it. They couldn't. Dominic Hasek with a key set of saves. A couple. The attempted bank in. That was at the end of the second. To start the third right away. Detroit came out on their power play, which carried over from the second. And Steve Yzerman tied it. Dominic Hasek has earned his keep and more in this game.
Boy, 1-goal lead, or the score has been tied 96.5% of the time played in this series. It just about spells out how even this game is, following right along with it. Here comes McCarty. Aaron McCarty in, looking, centered, whistle offside. All Olsen on the right. 9:51 to go, and a series is tied at 2-2 in the third.
When you're small, the world can seem pretty big. But these kids are learning more about it every day. Because in his spare time, Harry Cooper teaches the children in his neighborhood how to use a computer. And every time he does, he puts the whole world in their hands. Couldn't you do something? No, it's not your money. It's you we want. Come on, pick up that phone.
Is our 42nd largest state and is located in the Mid-Atlantic region. Its borders are Pennsylvania, Delaware, the Atlantic Ocean, Virginia, the Chesapeake Bay, and West Virginia. Maryland's Backbone Mountain lies in the mountainous region to the far west. It is the state's highest elevation at more than 3,300 feet. Moving east, the land changes to gently rolling hills up to the fall line, which is where the elevation drops sharply. On the eastern side of the fall line, the land is smooth and flat. Swampy areas border the Chesapeake Bay, the largest inlet on the U.S. Atlantic coast. The brackish water of the bay is fed by more than a dozen rivers. One of these, the Potomac, forms part of Maryland's southern border. It's the state's longest river, winding 287 miles through rock cliffs, pine forests, and tidal lowlands. Maryland, a unique part of the American landscape.
End of this game was they could wear down Colorado as the game went along.
If not in one game, then throughout the series. 7-game series for Colorado against San Jose. San Jose spent almost 4 minutes per game more in Colorado's zone than they did their own. In this series, Detroit has spent almost 4 minutes more per game in Colorado's zone than in their zone, including tonight. It's almost 4 minutes through 2 periods.
That puts the pressure on the Colorado defensemen, and basically they've played just 4. And Scotty Bowman said yesterday, we can keep that kind of pressure on their defense.
Yep.
Sooner or later, we're going to get one.
And it doesn't sound like a lot of minutes, Gary, but if you look at it this way, let's just play even back and forth, but the last 4 minutes of the game, we're going to let you play an hour end. 4 minutes is a ton of differential in zone ice time from one zone to the other.
That's why you've got all those blocked shots piled up by Colorado, because Detroit is spending all that time with scoring chances, shots, blocked shots. Back in behind the net, Dandino back to get it. However, the only thing that'll matter, which crooked number's up on the board under Colorado or Detroit. Because right now it looks like 2 is the number that's going to do it. 1-1 here in the third period with 9:16 to go.
Against Peter Forsberg, the Red Wings haven't really cared who they've got matched up against him up front. A lot of the time it just seems it's Kirk Maltby. Maybe because he's been in Peter Forsberg's face most of the time. The only pairing on defense that Detroit doesn't want out there is the one that just took the hit there, Matthew Dandino and Steve Duchesne. Other than that, they'll settle for Chelios and Fisher or Lidstrom and Olsen against Forsberg and Sakic.
No goals for the last 11. It's been a tough period time for him. He hasn't had a shot tonight and still has a goal and 5 assists in this series. And leads all scorers in the playoffs. Is it Forsberg time? Fisher back. You see the Avs backing up into almost a 3-2. Sakic came way back through center. Played behind the net on the backhand by Waugh. Didn't get much of that. Behind the net is Hall. Tied up by Sakic, centered it. All the way up the slot into the Detroit end. Chelios back. 23-19. Avs have the shot advantage in the game. DeVries flips it back in on side. Colorado, though, wanted to change it up.
No, the bench was yelling for Chris Chelios to change.
Whistled on a delayed offside call with a face-off at center.
What happened to Chris Chelios in this last shift from our reverse angle? He skated up, tried a long pass, and then broke his stick when he was defending on Joe Sakic backing up. Started yelling at him from the bench, Chelly, Chelly, Chelly. Finally, when Chris Chelios went over, he said, don't give me the stick, give me another body. He wanted off.
Get me out of here for a minute. Chelios back over on the bench. Veteran playoff leader for this Detroit Red Wings team. Everything matters now. Every face-off's taking an extended time. Fedorov run it. Lidstrom a shot. Off the stick wide. On the outside of the net. Yzerman had it poked away by Drury to Reinpret to Drury. Got Forsberg on the other side. Drury trying to go by. Knocked away Fedorov as he went through the middle.
But even then, Gary, right with him was Greg DeVries. Trying to get up on the play, make something happen.
Drury to Reinpret. Stick tied up by Lidstrom. DeVries was over there in the corner. Cleared back out by Yzerman. Remember the damage Drury has done. 5 of his 7 playoff goals against Detroit have been game winners. 5 of 7 in the playoffs against Detroit have been game-winning goals for Drury against the Wings.
He hasn't necessarily discriminated against the Wings. He's done that to everybody. 11 of his 26 career goals are scored in the third period or overtime. Game winners. He's killed a bunch of different guys.
He always seems to be one of the guys who has the extra step left at the end of the game. That jump that you see in the first period, he has at the end of the third and uses it. 8:10 left to go in this third period. See the shots 6-1 over the last almost 11 minutes in favor of the Avalanche. That's since the goal picked up by Yzerman that tied this game up. Larionov trying to hold it in, could not. Hall knocked it away, played deeper into the zone. Trying to find room at center was Robitaille. Yell is over there. Taken away by Larionov. Dandino. Wow, will come back to play it. Leave it there for Foot. Larionov moved back in behind the net. Adam Foot looking up ice. Nobody free. Avs change. Foot takes it back. The pace slows down a little. Knocked away to Messier. Messier a shot. Deflected. High note centers it. Deflected off Chelios. Urbano trying to reach for it. He and Chelios go to the corner. The puck came free. Skula tried to block it. Could not. At center. Aaron McCarty, but he couldn't keep it in the zones. Skula will send it on the shot and head to the bench. Red Wings in their own end, trying to catch him in a change. Two-line pass to Draper. Bry, how's it look from down there? Brian Engblom.
Gary, it's been a 1-1 hockey game, and both of these goaltenders have looked extremely strong. More of the stuff I think we've been looking for throughout this series. They've been consistent tonight's game. Dominik Hasek had made some spectacular saves. It looked like Dominik spinning around on his back and making huge saves. The only mistake that he made really is coming out of his net a little bit, and Reinpret made him pay the ultimate price. Patrick Waugh looked under control throughout this game, even through screens. He's used his head. He's even looked like Dom sometimes, and he made one mistake in this game. That's it. It's a heartless, unforgiving game for goaltenders in the playoffs.
And Brian, how unforgiving is this? The Colorado Avalanche have just been called for a bench minor. Too many men on the ice with 6:54 to go in the third period. And they are complaining bitterly that that call would be made at this point, believing that even if it happened, it did not affect what was going on the ice.
Didn't see it. I don't know how flagrant it was. I'm hoping it just wasn't a change that was a little sloppy or a little loose. You'd think they'd be given the benefit of the doubt at this stage of the game.
A Detroit power play. Wilsey will serve it.
I don't know if we can see them all. You got one look at it. Well, gosh, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there's a Chinese fire drill going on. There's 5 over there. There's nobody else that I can see.
And the puck's over here.
Oh, wait a minute, though. That's when the guys came on.
It is a power play. The Detroit Red Wings, generally, if that puck's not in the position of where the players are going on the ice, they let it go. The puck is on the other side of the ice.
Well, this is Detroit's opportunity. If ever they needed their power play, it is right now. It has been ineffective for the last 3 games.
13:06, the time of the bench minor. 4th power play of the game.
They got 1 from Steve Yzerman. They need to just keep it going. But other than that Steve Yzerman goal, they haven't had anything. Maybe they feel better about themselves now.
Yzerman's got it in the corner. Holmstrom in front. Brett Hull near side. A 1-1 game. 6:19 to go, third period. Hall looking, trying to find somebody. Colorado stays back. Lidstrom dropped it sharp, broken stick, Fedorov. Blade went flying right along with the puck to the backboards. Centering pass, shot deflected again. They come to Lidstrom. Open shot, high, save made. Patrick Watt reached up to get it. Held in by Fedorov, who's got a new stick. Lidstrom plays on the point. Hull doesn't take it. Goes back to Sergei Fedorov. Back to Lidstrom. Hull the one-timer. Blocked. Behind the net, Eisenman.
And Hull broke his stick on the play. That's 2 in a row.
Hull going to the bench to get a new stick. Frees a little room over here, and that's exactly where it's cleared by Blake.
On the first broken stick, Fedorov had time because of a great play by Eiserman to go to the bench, get his stick, and get back into the play.
37 left on the power play. Larionov moves it in. Shanahan behind the net. Shanahan dropped it off to Larionov. Larionov to Shanahan, who's open. He takes it. Saved by Watt. Rebound the corner. DeVries and Robitaille do battle. Bounced into the middle and into the corner. Robitaille over to get it. Luke Robitaille goes to Lidstrom. Lidstrom settles it down. Robitaille one-timer off the heel of the stick. 13 left on the power play. Larionov behind the net. Back over to Robitaille. Shanahan set up in the middle. Chelios goes to the blue line. Just held that in. Shot deflected off defenseman's stick before it got to Watt. Near side boards loose. Bravada dug it out. They move it out. The power play is over. 2 shots off it. Wilsey a chance. Save. Rebound. Deflected up in the air. Side of the net. And a whistle. High note. Almost. But it got blocked by Hasek.
Ice Cube. A little more grip, a little less lip. Mike Epps. Look at your hairline. If you was in the Army, you'd have to snoop like this. Yes, sir. I want you to put me all in chrome and put me on the front of the Bentley like this.
It's all about the Benjamins.
Come on. I'm supposed to get down from here. Jump. Better not let me hurt myself. I'm gonna catch you. Jump. Sorry about that.
The User Blood Donor Center sponsors blood drives. Check with your health clinic for more information. If you'd like to sponsor a blood drive, call 486-7107.
Hi, I'm First Sergeant Joseph Harris, 529th Military Police Company, Heidelberg, Germany. Force protection level in U.S. Army Europe has caused us to change the way we normally do business. It's our job as military police, soldier sentries, and guards to protect you and your loved ones from any threat. To make our job easier, we rely on all members to practice in patience and respect when entering military facilities. Not only is it the right thing to do, it's mandatory. We appreciate your support and positive feedback as we maintain a secure environment for U.S. Army Europe, on point for the nation.
Uncle Sam wants you to sponsor 14 to 23-year-olds in competing for the Congressional Award. Young adults set goals in areas such as personal development and physical fitness. For more details, call DSN 496-7948.
This is the head-to-head matchup hockey fans have been waiting for. They're getting it.
Hearts may be beating fast inside the goalies' uniforms. That was right through the legs of Kasparaitis. Patrick Watt never saw it coming. And Dominic Hasek with a rebound that he put right out front to Dan Heinout.
4:45 left, third period. Face-off one, Sakic, Kasparaitis. Big pile-up in front of the net. As Haydu takes it to the corner, falls down. Chelios trying to hold that puck in. Sakic got it along the wall once, not twice. Detroit will clear it back and start the rush. 1-1 game. Down the middle, Draper. Kasparaitis pushed him away before he could get to it. Brian lined out there. Cleared around the far side. Chelios held in by Draper. Chelios knocked Sakic away so he couldn't clear the puck. McCarty looking, trying to send it through, blocked by Reinfret. Turned back into the zone, and Maltby lets it go. Waugh played it around. Sakic fell down. Chelios a shot, blocked out deep and clear. 3:58 left here in the third period. Colorado changing. Detroit stays out trying to catch it. Back near side, Maltby dumped it into the corner. It's sitting there. Long shift for 3 of these Detroit skaters right now. They'll take a face-off here if they can get it. They could not. Dug it out. 3-on-3 the other way. Forsberg moves it up. Forsberg, Datsuk in front of him. Forsberg dish. Back for Forsberg. Tried to pass on the other wing. In Blake. Shot wide. Blake snuck in from the left point. shot it to the stick side, but it went high and wide. Drury's in front of the net. Puck went fine, though, to the corner. Down to 3:26 left to go. Cleared back out of the zone by Hull. Off the near side, Maltby puts it in the air. Blake will come back to get it. Blake dumps it behind the net. Hull stayed up on the forecheck. Messier moving over. Big run into the zone by Dandino. Back for it is Hull. Hull knocked down by DeVries. Puck freed up to Messier. Messier feathers it down the boards. Back to get it is Dandino. Matthew Dandino. 3 minutes left to go in a 1-1 game. Game 5 in a tied series. Moved back in by Sakic. Knocked down to Shane. Cleared back up to Sergei Fedorov. Fedorov in onside. Trying to put a little pass over the stick. He goes into the corner, falls down. Skula had the puck, lost it. Fedorov and Skula. Centering pass in front. Waugh can't find it. Larson banged it away and Waugh catches it.
Well, more to come. We're not done yet. We're just heating up. Great pressure by the Red Wings. The longer the game goes on, yes, the Avs are still generating chances at the other end, but the longer this game goes on, the more I think I believe in Scotty Bowman's theory that they just keep rolling 4 lines, play more in Colorado's end, and wear the defensemen down little by little. Both Fedorov and Robitaille looked like they got a piece of it. One thing Larson didn't want to do was try to grab that with his hand and put it behind Patrick Waugh. At the other end, Rob Blake with a little chip shot from right in front that just whizzed by the post.
Scotty's loving the game. This is good, he says. This is good for hockey. Not good for my heartbeat right now, but good for hockey.
You notice all of the coaching staff for the Red Wings, at least Scotty does, has a sweater on underneath.
Yeah.
It's way warmer in the building tonight. He's probably dying of heat.
He complained that he thought it was too cold.
It was.
It was, yeah. Bounced up in the air. Chelios took it away. 2:25 left to go. 1-1 game. Kasparaitis, Sakic. Went by Ryan Prett. Played by Yzerman. Steve Yzerman. He'll be out there. Intended for Shanahan, who couldn't figure out where that puck had gone. Back up for Hayduk. He never got to it. Sakic tried to clear. Yzerman knocked it down. Ryan Prett to Kasparaitis. Kasparaitis tied up by Hull and taken down. A little hook from behind. 17-11 of the first period. Ryan Prett scored. Colorado had the lead. Willsey back into the zone. Shot wide. 54 seconds in the third period. Yzerman got a power play goal to tie it up. Good play, Chelios. He and Drury went at it. Chelios picked his stick up. Draper drops it. Shanahan in for the game winner. Shanahan hit the post. Rebound clear to the near side. He had Waugh 4 feet out of the crease. Brendan Shanahan with a chance to put it away. McCarty on the far side knocked off the puck. Cleared back in on Dominik Hasek. Little roll is squibbed away. Fans, some of them still standing with their arms up. Celebrating.
Peter Forsberg just walked into the Detroit bench to take a shot at McCarty.
Waugh's going to cover that Fedorov dump in.
Man, what a finish to an incredible hockey game. Darren McCarty wouldn't let Peter Forsberg off of the boards near the Detroit bench. Finally, when McCarty went to change, Peter Forsberg tried to throw him in and then took a step right into the bench after him. It looked like he was going to follow him.
Brendan Shanahan's looking up at the big screen here, and he's looking at this.
She made a heck of a play to fake Rob Blake down. Then Patrick Waugh came out. Oh. Off the post. Peter Forsberg came back and bothered Shanahan right when he was going to bury it. I don't know if the puck was going out or not, but Brian Wilsey got a piece of it. Brendan Shanahan going, I can't believe it. And Brendan Shanahan has been pressing for a goal in this series because he doesn't have one.
No goal in the last 4 games for him, and none in this series, obviously. Face off to the right side of Patrick Waugh. Back to Lidstrom. Chance blocked to the near side. Yzerman. Yzerman will have to chase it down himself. The two captains going at it in the corner. Sergei Fedorov, 1 minute left to go. Third period, Fedorov to move. The shot blocked to center ice. This is where you give up the body, and still down on the ice is Hall. Hall, who blocked the shot, limping at the blue line, needs to get off. It's Hall who's right now in front of Lidstrom and Hurd. Waugh makes Adam Foote And the save made by Waugh. Adam Foote blocked the shot and could just get up.
He just went down, Gary, and grabbed his right toe. And Sergei Fedorov launched one of his 100-mile-an-hour slappers that nailed him. What a move Fedorov put on Kasparaitis out of the blue line. And that's what forced Foote into damage control mode. Kasparaitis got beat out of the blue line, so Foote had to go out and get a piece of it. He got a piece of it, all right. He got all of it. Sergei Fedorov, one of the hardest slap shots in the sport. Oh, right off the big toe of his right foot, it looks like.
Detroit has had the chances here in the last minute.
Oh, they're pressing. They want this thing now.
Face off to the right of Waugh. Neither team has used their 30-second timeout yet. 26-23, the shots in favor of the Avs. Off the draw, it will be won back by Drury against Draper. DeVries in the middle. Drury knocked it down to handle it. Drury in. His shot off the glass. Shanahan back to play it. Hit by Reinpret. 30 seconds left to go in regulation. Drury left it. Shot. Forsberg save. And no rebound. One of the few times Hasek has not given up a rebound.
Boy, timing everything or what? 24.5 seconds to go, and he was able just to eat that shot up. And the Avs come back and press. Steve Reinpret with a good forecheck, and then Chris Drury was just able to swoop in and pick it up. Look at all the support. Then Forsberg coming. Here's Forsberg's shot that was an end-over-ender. Went right into the midsection of Dominik Hasek, and no rebound for Steven Reinpret. Boy, Reinpret almost touched that on the original for a deflection.
24.5 left. Chris Drury again will come in to take the face-off. This is when you look at the numbers, see who your hot face-off man is, and go to him. These are vital draws. Fedorov for Detroit. Drury won it back to the blue line. Shot. Blake blocked out deep. That was Yzerman who blocked the shot. Forsberg in the corner. 16 seconds left to go. Forsberg trying to dig it out. Sakic there as well. Forsberg in. Shot. Hasek save. Rebound. Sprawling. DeVries. Shot blocked in the middle. Fedorov picks it up with 5 seconds to go. Maybe an icing call before it expires. Oh, my. There were more scoring chances in the final minute of the third period than the other 39 of the first.
What a wonderful finish to this third period. Not to the game, because we will go overtime. Terrific work in the corner. Sakic and Forsberg loaded up for this final push for Colorado. It went off Hasek's own stick up into his chest, and then a dive by Chris Drury. Watch to the right. Drury thought he could get to it first. Nothing doing. Chris Chelios was there to bail Dominik Hasek out. Whew. I think I'm just going to stay down here and catch my breath and wait a second before I get up. Terrific chances at both ends, both teams.
1 second remaining. Drury will try and shoot it. Not quite. Fedorov tied it up. Take a deep breath. We will go to overtime. The Red Wings of Colorado. Third overtime we have had in this series. Patrick Waugh is not happy about something as he's barking at the linesman. Or Chelios. Bob Hartley's waiting to make sure he gets his goaltender off the ice. So he's gunning for the overtime.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, he'd rather have him playing than watching. What a game. Series tied at 2-2. Here in Game 5, we go to the overtime with it tied at 1-1 as the intensity has just built as this game has moved along. Reinpret gave Colorado the early lead in the first. Yzerman the power play goal 54 seconds into the third to tie it 1-1. John and Barry.
All right, Gary and Bill, thanks a lot. You get the feeling that the series, not just this game, has gone into overtime. Patrick, upset, probably couldn't see all the way down at the other end, but you could see something.
Well, when Dominik fell over on his back there, which he does many times, he always seems to lose his stick or drop it or whatever. That time, he definitely threw his stick. He had it in his hand. He rolled in his back. He didn't know where the puck was. Arms went up, and he definitely threw his stick out of his hand. He was throwing it at something. He didn't know if it would hit a man or a stick or whatever. That's a penalty. The goaltender is supposed to have control of his stick at all times. If he throws it, it's a 2-minute minor. And especially after that 2-minute men on the ice penalty, which I was glad to see nobody scored on. I don't think this series should be determined on a too many men on the ice penalty, so I'm glad that thing didn't determine the series.
I don't think the players would like to see that either. The whistles at this point may be in the pockets.
I hope they are.
They may leave
Let the players decide.
Back in the referee's locker room. When we come back, we'll look back at overtimes between these two franchises. This will be the 6th playoff overtime between Detroit and Colorado.
Her daddy left home this morning. I'll be there forever. Wait and see. She'll be twice as likely to get pregnant in her teens.